Ooh, bingo.
Aspire VR just tweeted, "Attention all future Aspire agents. The definitive stealth VR experience is 30% off on the PlayStation Store."
Wow, Covert's 30% off? That's crazy.
I was really considering, did I respond to them and be like, the persistence is on sale?
Awesome. All right, let's get this cat on the screen.
Keep up the great work, guys. We're just giving you shit. It's all out of love. But until then, we want to say, what is up to Johnny Ripe Up the Stray Cat, Orseek? I am Orseek. SB Yo Felines in the house. Sir Gom? I almost said Sir Gorn.
Yeah, I always do that too.
Yes, you are early. Sonic the Game Cat.
Speaking of Aspire 1, Sir Gom was asking about Aspire on Twitter, and I had to set him straight.
The VR grid. I'm very disappointed in one of your reviews today. I will get to that later. Your Long Shadows. I don't have popcorn, but
Ryan?
at least I'll have company tonight.
I thought we are here to keep you
We do, but now we have a legit reason.
Just incredible VR. Robert Sullivan. Hello to you too, you wonderful person. You, Kev Garrett. I hope you guys are all ready for some duking it out today. It's not the top 20 list. We've got some shit to settle. Ships Geek Out. Lipnox 88. Delirium Drew, a Hobbit. Let me get the last ones. Hibsy the Game Cat. Guys on Facebook to you. There he is. Dave. Ash VR.
Is that an AJ problem or me problem?
That was me. That was me. Hack the Game Cat. It's lit, y'all. And finally, Johnny Pockets. Johnny No Pockets, aka the Who Dat Game Cat.
Yeah,
Ninja Tiger King. I gotta give a shout out to Ninja Tiger King and Wee Man. Hello.
Wee Man?
Wee Man.
Like from
Wee Man.
From Jackass?
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
No, probably not. Hold on, wait. Wee Man says, any info on Gorn PSVR? I got you, brother. Gorn has been rated with the ESRB rating, and that is their.
What was the ESRB rating? What did they rate it?
I actually don't know. Probably mature. I would imagine mature.
I would call it a teen game.
That
means
cartoony in color.
No, it's so bloody and gory and stuff.
Cartoon gore.
Yeah, but still, it's like decapitating people, pinching their limbs off and stuff. But yeah. Gorn has been rated by the for the ESRB, and that means release is likely imminent.
But does it have aim support, AJ?
It does not.
Not have aim support, then it's a no buy. Just like click turning and teleportation. I'm so close-minded, AJ.
What year is it?
Right. Hey, this is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every Thursday night. Although, why is it so bright? It feels like it's noon.
I know, it's very bright in all of our houses, and I don't know why. I even closed one of the windows to try and help. Anyways, AJ, you were right. It is M for mature.
Yeah,
absolutely,
of course.
I was wrong.
My name's Bryan Paul from the channel right here, and with me this week and every week, Dave from Davestation VR. With the awesome shirt, man. It's like you rock it without even being asked to rock it.
I missed that shirt.
Well, I rock it because I know people are gonna ask later.
They're gonna make you change halfway through the
make
podcast.
me change halfway through the show.
And of course, this guy right here in the middle is AJ from PSVR Underground, also known as AJ Cybernetic.
Yes. What up, Robbie B? I saw you in there. I am now AJ Cybernetic.
Why is that?
PSVR.
Got it.
To celebrate the release of ATEC Cybernetic by Xreal Games.
Yeah. Well, I guess
it was kind of a deal we made. We are going to definitely talk about it.
I had a feeling there was some kind of deal that was made because, based on your reaction to the game, it seems like some kind of back alley deal was made between you and Xreal.
Did they hand you $50 or something?
No, I changed my name before I played it, and that was for Robbie B. Because he's been saying, dude, it's been like 6 months ago. Was like, please do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got a guy named War and Gore on our Discord. I actually see him on. I see him on Facebook too. He just recently joined a bunch of the PlayStation VR Facebook groups. But I'm like, when Gorn comes out, you have to change your name to Warren and Gorn. It's just thing, man. It's like you got to get on board. I haven't changed my name in a while, so it's probably
a popular Twitter handle thing, or not Twitter handle, but it's a big thing on Twitter to change your name of blah blah blah.
Sure, it's a big thing.
And see, AJ knows that because he is on Twitter all the time, pumping out the news
at PSVR Underground.
You to know that he's
follow me for all the latest and greatest and a bunch of deals.
I'll let him tell you.
Oh yeah,
that was it. That was his sales pitch right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I thought we were going to get through.
It doesn't cost you anything
without talking about it.
Totally free to subscribe to him on Twitter.
However, my account $7 a month. $7 at Parole Games. You get way less news. but $7. This is PSVR Gamescast Live. Let's make sure you guys join our Discord. The link is in the description because that's where this conversation happens 24/7. All the coolest cats hang out there. It's been kind of quiet lately. I got to be honest. I stopped in and I'm just like, where is everybody? Well, I guess I'll get some work done. Sure. Anyway, that's it. Patreon, Discord, viewer takeover. I don't know where we're at.
Brian, let's begin the show we do each and every week.
You know what's weird, Brian? I feel like the brighter it is, the less energy you have. Is that a thing?
That is definitely a thing.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I
The
can
light drains it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, do you want to hit that for me, Dave, before we get started?
Oh, absolutely. I got my tree guy right here. He's getting a little dirty. I've left him on my desk for too long. Okay.
Fuck you! This is my tree world! This is my tree place!
Speaking
And
of,
that's for Robbie
Thank
B, English
There he
Game
is.
Cat. And he sends over £2, and he says, finally, AJ Cybernetic. And then he's got some shades.
The time is meow.
The time is meow.
I do like the follow up from Lou the Game Cat with Brytech Cyberpaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have the same ring, but Kev Gray says Brian looks tired. This is my first cup of coffee, and not only today, but since 2 days ago. So I am a little bit tired.
I could use some coffee, man.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
that's okay. I'll pick up some energy
Sounds
during the show. This is a little.
Excuse me.
What's that? Okay,
Nothing.
I'm sorry.
Bless
Did
me.
you say you can go fuck yourself? Is that what you said?
It sounded like he
Right.
could.
All right, let's begin the show the way we begin every show with a little game of should we or shouldn't we. We put 60 seconds up on the clock, put the clock up on the counter the way that Jeremy likes it. What the fuck is Jeremy, man? He just hasn't shown up ever since this virus thing started. And it's our chance to tell you, the little game cats, whether you should or should not be playing and or watching the things that we've been playing and or watching. The question, of course, is who wants to go first?
I will go first.
All right.
All right. So,
You get to go first as soon as I figure something out here.
okay. Dave goes first.
No, he's figuring out. Well,
It doesn't matter who goes first. I got to figure something
He's
out.
figuring out a general
Okay.
thing.
Right.
You get the thing.
Wait, who's
Yeah.
who's gonna
Well,
be
I
the
can't
guy?
go until you're ready.
Well, no one can go until I'm ready.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. All right. Ready, AJ?
Almost. All right. Yes, I'm ready.
It's such a shit show today. Every day. On your mark. Get Des. Go.
All right. So March 24th marked the 5th year anniversary of my favorite flat PS4 game of all time, Bloodborne. Love that game. Amazing game. Everybody should play it. And there is a room in Rec Room that I went and revisited. You just go to Rec Room and it's free and you download it and then you search for the rooms to play and you just type in Bloodborne. And there's a level in there that they have remade the lobby, like the main area. I can't remember what everything's called now because it's been a couple years, so forgive me. But they've got the lobby, they've got like the library, they've got this huge exhibit where like this thing picks you up, the big spider thing picks you up, and it like kills you. And it's absolutely amazing, totally stunning what they were able to do in Rec Room and make Bloodborne look that good.
4,
On my Twitter,
3,
I have
2,
a picture. It's should we
1.
Rec Room all day.
All right, Rec Room. That's always fun.
Rec Room.
I kind of forget to go back in, but I know they're always
Yes.
adding stuff.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, man, because it's free.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Somebody actually, Wee Man, I think, asked what's another multiplayer game for PSVR? Rec Room, dude. Rec Room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone should have Rec Room, right? It's free. People are like, why don't you talk about Rec Room more? I was like, oh, because everyone should just have it. It's like, just have
Yeah.
Oh shit, Jason.
But go
in
see the
chat.
Bloodborne. Go see the
Uh,
Bloodborne level. Absolutely. go
Jason
do it.
Handyman Can in the chat says some of his friends made it, which I'm not
Yes.
surprised by
Yeah,
because
he knows a lot of those.
he
like,
knows all those top makers.
top
Yeah.
creators
Rec
for
Room
sure.
architects, we
Yeah.
call them.
Yes.
I just
Architects.
made that up. Is that a real thing?
The magicians.
I still need to try Stunt Runner. I still need to do that.
Yeah, I haven't done Stunt Runner yet either. I'm way behind.
Yeah, that's kind of the downside. I think when something's like free, like Rec Room, I go, it doesn't have the same like immediate draw for me. Where I'm like, oh okay, like I just paid $30 for something, I need to play it right away. Rec Room's like, oh, it's free, it'll just be there. It's like whatever, it's in the background. When you pay for something, it's more immediate. You're like, I gotta see what this is all about because I just paid money.
Yeah, Lou the Game Cat says Rec Room is like Dreams Junior, and I agree. It's it's barely a junior too. I mean, it's like another Dreams.
Junior.
Okay.
Okay. I think that means. Oh man, I still can't get rid of my cursor. I don't know what's going on with that. I got to figure that out. OBS updated, and I can't get rid of my cursor now. If anybody uses OBS, just send me a message and tell me how to get rid of that.
Yeah. Go to Rec Room. Go to the Bloodborne stage and get eaten by the giant monster thing. It's fun.
All right.
Take a friend.
Okay. All right, Dave. We're ready, Dave.
I'm ready. Hold on, I'm going to time myself too. So let me know when you're starting.
Well, that's what I usually do. The on your market set go for.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, so we'll just do it the same way.
Let's stick with that. Let's stick with that.
We always.
I think this time we shouldn't change it up. This time we should stick with the formula. I think.
All right. On your mark, get set, go.
Des. Okay, so my should we for this week is Animal Crossing. I don't know if you guys have Switches out there. I know a lot of people have multiple platforms, or like if you got kids, you probably have one for your kid. It is such a fun time suck. It's one of those games where you just realize, after 4 hours, you realize after like 4 hours, you're just like, is my shit freezing?
Mm-hmm.
My shit is freezing. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, it certainly does.
So we keep catching you in awesome poses.
Okay, well, I don't hear me at all.
Oh man, you gotta watch out for those time sucks, man.
Like, I really
They'll get you when you least expect it.
I don't have enough time now to talk about why.
You get
But my
12 seconds.
we is also
I like how you're just letting this go.
Crossing.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't know.
I mean, we're not
me right
giving him
now.
more time once his timer's up. So this is
But,
it.
it
2,
takes
1,
up
0. Okay, that's it.
life. I
Nice, that was fun.
Awesome. Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. That's your Animal Crossing
Like,
news
it's
for
just
the
like-
week, guys.
absorb all of my time. Now I'm
That was it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't know what to tell
thinking
you.
about it constantly.
Horrible.
Or Seek says Dave is already cybernetic.
Into your brain. Get it right.
Davestation, Cybernetic. He's still talking
your
and
normal-
like he has no idea we can't hear him.
Yeah.
Scheduling.
Scheduling.
You just get in.
I don't know what's going on here. So
Wow. It's like
Oh man.
light outside pretty soon. Anyways, that's my should be and shouldn't we Animal Crossing. I don't know if anyone heard any of that. But that's super funny.
we still have no idea what you're saying, Dave.
Is he on a loop?
He thinks so. He's like Max Headroom. What the fuck's happening over there?
What is going on?
Yeah.
What's up? Okay.
Hopefully we all enjoyed Dave's contribution to the show today, because it seems like that might have been it.
I see
Holy
him talking,
there
but
he
it
goes.
seems okay.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. It's your turn.
I'm so distracted. Fuck me. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get this all set up here. Holy crap, dude. I hope you manages to fix that, because that's it's becoming
That was nuts.
It's becoming a weekly thing.
While you're getting that ready, fuck you, Wolfie Smith, the Game Cub, with the 5 donation. What's up, Red Panda? This dude is the best dude ever at In Death. He destroys In Death. He's always like top 10 in the global leaderboards. And he says, "Hey everyone, haven't seen the GAMESCAST for a while, and it's good to be back. Good to have you back, Red Panda.
Very
good to see you, man.
Absolutely.
Hello? Hello?
Hey,
I
Dave.
hear you.
What's going on, man?
Any of that come through at all?
Yeah, no, it's all
yeah,
static and words, one word here.
We got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my should we and my shouldn't we was Animal Crossing. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still can't see you guys on video for some reason.
We can't see you on video either, so it's totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay. On my mark, get set, and go. So I was playing a little bit of Down the Rabbit Hole last night. This is a game that was supposed to come out on PSVR this week, but it got delayed until early April. This was Cortopia Studios, same people who made Wands VR, the kind of like one-on-one wand. Wasn't a fan, I gotta be honest.
Wizard Battle.
The Wizard Battle, yeah, but this is totally different. Obviously, third-person kind of puzzle adventure game, and I'm just playing it on Quest because I got a Quest key and it's not ready for PSVR yet. We'll be covering that on PSVR as soon as possible. But I want to give you guys a little bit of preview and say that the graphical style on this is like beautiful, and I absolutely love if you guys like the diorama style, like Moss or anything like that, it's that plus some, because you kind of get grab the world and pull it and move it around. You know, you fall down this giant hole and like you just pull the whole world up, and then you see where Alice is at. The whole thing feels really good. I gotta say, I get stuck on the very first puzzle. I was sort of watching TV and playing at the same time, so I think I missed an audio cue that told me a specific time that the clock was supposed to have. Anyway,
how the hell are you watching TV and playing VR?
That's what happens when you have a Quest. You don't even have headphones in, and so you're just like kind of watching TV as you go. Like just like
okay,
you know, got an episode of Frasier on, playing some down the rabbit hole. You know, I wasn't doing a deep dive into this game. I wasn't like I need to review this. I was like I just want to check this out for a few minutes. And I played the first 20 minutes or so, and I was like, wow, this is something here. This is really just pleasant. You know, the voice acting was nice. None of the conversations took too long. Even you could. I was concerned that everything was going to be kind of far away, but you can just take that world and you can pull it right. You can be right inside that room if you want to, and it looks really good even when you're in it. So the only thing I'm concerned about is that with the Quest, you're controlling Alice with the analog stick, but you really kind of need two hands at the same time. So I'm like, I wonder how this is going to work with two move controllers. I could totally see it working with DualShock 4 using the move, and the analog stick. I'm not totally sure how it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be a point and click thing. I'm curious. But hey, so far so good.
Very cool. Yeah, excited to check that one out for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think
we got another. Ooh, I'm going to do this again. Hold on.
Don't tweet me! What are you? Fuck you! What are you tweeting me for?
Who's ready for that one?
That is Robbie B, the illustrious English game cat. And he says, with the $2 donation, thank you so much, Robbie. He says, any word on Dreams VR support? They've kind of gone quiet on that.
I mean, how many times were they like, it's very, very, very close. It's almost here. It's like it's the very next thing. And then nothing.
From what they've said, it sounded like they were, I mean, that seems like their next thing in line. And then they're going to move on to multiplayer. They might be a little busy dealing, given the circumstances, maybe that has caused some delay in what's going on over there. But, they've said that countless times that they're working on it, that it's the closest to being done out of all the things. I will. That's the latest.
Just to kind of add to the Dreams conversation and where is the VR mode, I did get a text from an unknown source recently saying. Or let's say an unnamed source because I know who they are.
I was like, you got a text from an unknown source.
Yeah,
like,
who's fucking texting me?
Right.
What?
Yeah. Nigerian Prince was giving me some inside information.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
No,
those Nigerian princes love to give you money.
But anyway, he who shall not be named was like, just heads up, expect some delays on PSVR games that are not terribly close to release. Because of this whole Corona thing, people were.
Okay, we know it was Shuhei. That's fine.
It was obviously Shuhei.
Definitely Shuhei. That is Wolfie Smith, the Game Cub, with £2. Cornerstone City is the in-depth master.
Wow.
Second at 26 mil. Wow.
I don't think I knew
Cornerstone
that.
City 777.
Nice.
Wolfie has been grinding away at that in-depth, man.
All the cats are good at in-depth, apparently.
Oh yeah,
it's a great game.
I love
it's
that
really
shit.
Fun. If you guys don't know about that, and you like sort of
in-depth kicks ass. I know a lot of people are waiting for a sale on it, but it doesn't go on sale very often. I think it did have a sale like once. But yeah, in-depth kicks ass.
Yeah, good stuff. Really good. Was it $30?
No, I think it's 20
25?
or 20. I think it's 25. Yeah.
Okay, don't wait for a sale. Just buy it. It's really good. Although, I don't know, if you've been waiting for a sale, you might as well wait. Keep waiting. We got another one, Dave. What are you doing over there?
Fuck you! Don't squeeze me!
We do have another one.
And this one
That's
comes from
Joe Grover.
Thank you. Joe Grover with a $5 donation.
Hold on.
What's up?
Let me read this one.
Okay.
Because Joe Grover, I want to tell you specifically, Joe. First of all, thank you for your tip, and I'll read this out loud. Dreams team. It's very close. I just puked. Smiley face. Nice. That's a funny comment. But Joe, the shot glass that you mailed me, I was hoping to have before the show, and I was going to take a commemorative shot for you when you tipped, but it's not here yet. I'm sorry. So I guess I could just do it out of a regular shot glass. But anyways, let's continue. That's all I had to say.
I'm looking forward to seeing the shot glass next week. We'll see how that goes.
Yes.
He showed me a picture of it. It's really cool. It's like hand-blown glass, very colorful. It looks like something you'd find in a head shop, which is fine.
Dark Squizzle 088 asks your thoughts about Saints and Sinners. When is it going to be released? What's your guess? I've already made this guess a few times. I think it's going to be next month, but they've basically said that it will be in the spring. So all we know confirmed is that it will be springtime.
So anytime.
I would have originally guessed next month. Anything can happen during these times, though, so we don't know. But I don't think we have much longer to wait, and it's supposed to be really good. So can't wait to play Saints and Sinners. Brian, Game Cats. We have 14 items on this list. What? There wasn't what?
You don't want to hear news on Saints and Sinners?
Please enlighten me.
All right, yeah, there was a conversation that happened either on Twitter or on Facebook or something. People like talking to the devs, saying, "Is the coronavirus going to delay Saints and Sinners on PlayStation VR?" And they said, absolutely not. We are 100% committed to finishing this game. We know that this is an important time to get games out, to keep people distracted and whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. So Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
like I was saying before.
I have no idea what you were saying before. It was fucking just
I know, but it was about Animal Crossing.
I bet it was. I had a trailer running and everything.
During the outro, the cats wanted you to go more on Animal Crossing. So in the outro, please redo your.
I will. Yeah,
should be.
After the show in Discord, please. Let us know more about Animal Crossing.
Okay, come to the flat
The room broke. Just came to the quest today. Yeah, man, the room is awesome.
No, we'll be talking about the room.
We're definitely talking about the room
as well. Yeah.
Oh yes.
But yeah, Saints and Sinners. Don't expect a delay. Still coming spring 2020, which means between now and less than 3 months from now. I am with AJ on this. Definitely saying April release, and because April is the very very beginning of April is starting to, we're going to speckle in some PSVR releases. There's already some scheduled for it, but man, as far as the second half of April, it's sort of a blank slate. I think we can expect to see Gorn, and I think we can expect to see Saints and Sinners, and that would round out April for an amazing month. You're wow, April's almost as good as March was. All right.
Oh yeah,
we're having a really.
So you said there's 152 items on the Roper report this week.
That's what it feels like.
You said.
No, we have 14 items on the list today, including some new games that are potentially coming to PSVR, as well as some new news on the PS5. And then the main focus today towards the end is going to be, we're going to be talking about the 3 big games that came out this week. And we're going to go a little in depth on them. Of course, spoiler free. But yeah. So starting with, as per Reddit user, James Evans 20. He's been in touch with this developer for this game called Totally Baseball. Now we already have what is it, like Home Run Derby or something, but it wasn't that great. This looks more like a real kind of baseball thing. It looks cartoony and stuff and just kind of fun. He basically said that the dev told him that after the multiplayer update that they're working on right now, PSVR and Quest ports are on the list. So hopefully we get to see that at some point or another. There's no time window for this, but I like sports games in VR, so I'm a big fan of 2MD VR football. And even if they're a little simplistic or a little limited, it's just fun. They're just good stuff.
Yeah, every time I've ever played a baseball game in my life, my dad and I actually played a lot of Triple Play 98 on PlayStation 1. It was like a bonding thing. I was like, I don't really like baseball, but hey, I'll play day games with Dad. It seems so complicated. For something that's as simple as let's throwing a ball, right? You got to select what kind of pitch, and then you got to select, you got to kind of as the pitch is being thrown, you sort of have to aim it, and then this is perfect for VR because you got 2 move controllers and you can just throw the ball. That takes all of the issues out of the way. Maybe having to select the pitch ahead of time just to make sure that the game knows what you're trying to do, in case there's any move malfunctions. But it just seems so perfect. And swinging a bat is you're swinging a bat. You're swinging a move controller. This is perfect for VR. I did play a little bit of the Japanese baseball game that's in VR.
Oh, I was really curious about that. That's one of the few things in the Japanese store that I've never tried. How is that one? Could you play it without knowing Japanese?
It's very difficult because there's a story
mode. I would imagine.
There's a story
and
mode.
It's a shitload of menus and stats and stuff too, right?
So many menus, so many stats. It's impossible to play. And even just finding the VR mode is impossible. I was like, you know what? I'll struggle through this if I can, play a career in VR. And you can't. It seems like you're just kind of playing this one-off game.
That sucks. I thought it was the full-on like game.
It doesn't
I didn't
seem
know
that way.
to mode.
Again, I struggle through all the menus, and I tried for hours trying to get it to work, and only once I was like, okay, here's an exhibition game, but I couldn't start a campaign in VR, which is really strange because you've got the whole engine up and running, and it looked really nice. You know, it's like very simplistic. It's cartoony as well, but yeah, no, you just can't do it, which is really strange.
One thing I will say, just sort of side note, if anybody is in that sort of situation where there's a game you want to play, but the menus are in Japanese or a different language and you don't know what you're doing, there's a phone app, Google Translate, that you can get where you just point your camera at something and in real time it translates it. So like I've had games from the Japanese store where I don't know what the menu means, so I'll take off the headset for a second and I'll put my phone at the screen and it'll translate it for me. So that kind of can sort of get you halfway there, at least, like knowing where to click if anyone else ends up in that situation.
It's always fun in VR. You get the VR headset on and you're like putting something at the screen while you're in VR. Yeah, what a mess.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, last week, or was it last week? But between the week,
I had one thing I want to talk about on this one.
Yeah.
Because I just watched the trailer while we were talking about it, and the interesting thing to me is I don't see any batting. I didn't see anybody batting. I just saw people throwing and running bases. It's interesting. I have to assume they'll be batting at some point, but I'm curious about the locomotion system, because it looks like the headset is bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's a sort of like run in place kind of mechanic where you kind of just like...
Or if they just have head wobble on.
There's definitely batting there. I've seen some of the batting gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that trailer you put in the email, I just saw throwing. So it might be something else. Another trailer. But yeah, it looks like it could be decent. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but shit's cool in VR. So.
All right. So, like I was saying, a week and a half ago, Mark Cerny went onto the stage, and we got the first few details of the specs of the PS5. And basically, believe it or not, guys, there's some people that were confused about, some of the information on the PS5.
Believe it or not, it was the most fucking confusing, misinformed presentation we've ever had.
I thought it was pretty straightforward. I don't know, but
I mean, he outright.
I understood what he was talking about. I'm sorry if nobody else did.
I know you're the smartest guy in the room.
You said you had to watch 4 times to understand.
4 times, right?
Yeah.
No,
it's like when I was reading Foucault in college. I don't expect anybody to get that reference.
Would you just call me?
To a Foucault.
Essentially, there was a lot of confusion about the backwards compatibility. Now, this is a big deal for us because obviously all of our PSVR games we want to know if they're going to all be playable, all be backwards compatible with the PS5 at launch. And so basically, Alex Avard from Games Radar did an article and basically covered an update that Sony has said, which basically they said PS5 backwards compatibility will be available for an overwhelming majority of the 4,000 plus PS4 games. And then PlayStation has confirmed in an updated post on their blog after the Road to PS5 live stream talk. So wanted to get you guys' opinion on this and what you think about it. And, do you think we'll have...
Ow! Fuck you!
Sorry, that's for Hugh Guyver. He gave us the old cousin. Yeah, MacGyver's cousin. Cousin Mac wanted to improvise pizza for Bryan out of crushed cornflakes and jam, but I said we should just give him money to buy one. Meow. That's probably a good idea. And the shipping on an improvised pizza, I don't think it would arrive in a good condition. I don't know.
Jam
in the mail? Can't put jam in the mail unless it's sealed.
Jam and cornflakes for a pizza. I'm not real happy about the thought of that.
Yeah, he was MacGyvering a pizza.
Thank you very much, Hugh Guyver. I appreciate it. Pizza fun.
Yes.
Full effect.
Shout out to your cousin Mac too.
Yeah, right on.
But yeah, what do you guys think this means? I mean, do you think? What do you like? What do you think about this whole backwards compatibility situation?
I think this is kind of how Xbox did it too with the last gen. They said correct me if I'm wrong, but they were like,
I think you're actually spot on.
Most games work. Not every game works, but most games work.
And they're like, we'll get to it
and
as we go.
They make sure, and they continually add backwards compatibility as they can. for other games. And I don't know if that's on Sony or if that's on the devs to do that. It might be a little bit of both. But yeah, I mean, I think all the heavy hitters are going to be backwards compatible. The only thing I wonder about is a lot of these like smaller indie PSVR games, like if they'll get the bump up to PS5,
Well, I mean, so the most important thing is that when we plug in the PlayStation 4 camera into a PlayStation 5, that it works, right? I mean, I'm sure it will work, but like the PlayStation, the current PSVR setup has to be integrated into PlayStation 5. We have to be able to just like plug in everything and be like, okay, that's number one. Like before we even say, well, PlayStation VR, current PSVR games work on PlayStation 5, we got to make sure the hardware is like all... Dude, do you know when I first got my PlayStation Vita and tried to plug it into my... What was it, the PS3 at the time, PS4? I even forget when it came out. It was just like, we don't recognize this device. It was like as if it wasn't even a Sony brand.
You
device.
fucking made it. You made it, Sony. What do you?
Right. At least be able to let me transfer files or something. Like I don't have to be able to play Vita games on my PlayStation 3 or whatever. But like, let me at least just show me that you realize you made this device. And so that's what I'm concerned about. I'm like, I have an awful feeling that on day one, PlayStation 5 is going to show up, and I'm going to plug in my PSVR headset, or I'm going to like try to sync up my Move controllers, or I'm going to plug in that camera, and it's going to go, we don't know what the fuck this is. I'm like, come on, guys, like just make sure that works out of the box. And then,
I mean, they have to. They really have to. The interesting thing for me is how did they come up with a system where they have ports for that, but then there's also ports for whatever comes next. Unless they use the same port, but I can't imagine that they would use the same.
I mean, I imagine they just expand the ports a couple, like they did with the Pro.
Yeah.
Probably have the same amount as the PS4 Pro.
yeah.
Well, I just mean like the PlayStation camera is a specific. It's not like a standard USB. It's like a proprietary plug. I think it's different from the other ports. So I just feel like they're going to have that. But then, if we're not using cameras, I guess that maybe they just won't use it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once we hit full on PSVR 2. Oh, we got Bel Ramio. Somebody else can do this one.
All right, Bel Ramio, the Game Cat, meow, gave us a €20 donation. Says backwards compatibility is boring. Give us new games like heck, heck, you know which ones, and a little Barbara poll. Yeah, I mean, backwards compatibility is important to me, but it's not. I think for PS4, it's the most important. I've kind of, as much as I mean, if I had the option, yes, I would take every single thing into one console. Absolutely. But being able to play the PSVR games here on the next system is my priority of what I want. Especially, we talked to Reggie Strange last week, and he was telling us that this gives him an opportunity to add some enhancements to Honor and Duty, to do the sound, and lots of improvements like that. So I just think it would be really cool for a lot of PSVR games to get a chance at a second release on the PS5 when the PSVR headset count has even grown. So
and I know Bel Ramio's joking, right? Because he's just giving us a hard time. But as long as we all know, like backwards compatibility isn't coming at the expense of like new games. Like these you don't get one in place of the other, And so I would much. It's already a pain to have like my PS2 and PS3 and PS4 all hooked up at the same time. I don't really have space for that, or even the cables for that. I don't have only so many HDMI inputs on my TV. I have only so many places to plug things in, and like it's just cluttered and messy. I just want one console that does it all. But I do want to address Asmer Green's comment. In the chat, this is what we're talking about. People are confused by the presentation because Asmer Green says the games will all work, but some won't be able to use the additional power because they can't handle the additional clock speeds. That's not what they're saying, right? But this is the message that's out there. People are very confused. Some games just won't fucking work at launch. Period. And that's the message that should be out there. Is that guess what? We know that there's going to be a shitload of titles that work at launch, but we don't know when they say the overwhelming majority of games will work on PlayStation 5. There's no guarantee they're talking about at launch. And so there at launch is obviously going to be a ton of games that don't work at all, and gradually they're going to make sure that all of those do.
Right.
Or most of them do.
I mean, I mean, I want all the big hitters. I want the big hitters definitely first. I mean, they started with the 100 top 100 like popular
That's
games.
That's definitely what they'll start with. Yeah.
So they'll start with there and go from there. I would love to see. I hope enough developers for some of the smaller games and stuff stick around long enough to get a chance to enhance their game and re-release it. I think that would be really cool with the power that was supposed to be there for making VR games originally. All right. So moving on.
So the answer is nobody fucking knows right now. That's the real answer. The
messaging
is horrible.
Nobody knows.
Well, but I think when you say like at launch they won't all be compatible, what they've said, I think specifically, is that they've tested about 100 of the biggest games and that they do work already.
Right.
Some of them.
And so
like
for the 5,000 games that are available on PlayStation 4.
Of course. Yeah, I have like 400 games in my library.
Right.
I understand. Yeah, I know. But I don't know. Maybe they haven't tested those games. Maybe they do.
They definitely have not tested it.
They're not testing. They're not testing along together or whatever.
Right.
I have a feeling most. I would assume that 90% of the PlayStation VR titles are not on that list. Like, I think that's kind of the bottom of their priority list right now.
Probably so, but they do have to ensure some kind of compatibility for your PSVR on the new platform, because like a lot of people will trade in their PS4s to get a PS5. Like, that's my plan. I don't need both if it's mostly backwards compatible, and I really don't want both sitting on my shelf right next to each other, like you said, taking up space.
Reggie's in the chat and he says the problem with clock speed is if you assume things like loading takes a certain amount of time, those assumptions will fail and can break the game. Yeah, so I'm sure there's that's why they said they have to do it by like an individual basis, because making these kinds of changes and stuff, the game has to be able to adjust to it. So or has to be adjusted for it. So I'm sure there's a couple games out there where it just seamlessly ports, but then there's going to be others that have certain settings where it can jump ahead of itself and make problems. Break it.
I want to throw actually out there to Reggie, since he's here in the chat, and he's one of the few people amongst us who might actually have a PS5 dev kit. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he doesn't. But for your game specifically, like for Honor and Duty, do you know what it takes to get it PS5 ready? Have they like communicated to you guys what makes it forward?
He doesn't have a kit yet, and if he did, I don't.
Well, I'm just curious. Even if he doesn't have the kit, but like, do you know what needs to be done to get it primed for PS5? Because I feel like they should be communicating that to devs and letting people know, like, hey, if you want your shit to be forward compatible, you got to do this, you got to do that. So I'm just curious if Sony is getting ahead of that at all, or if there's any kind of resources for smaller devs like Reggie or whatever.
There you go.
Reggie?
I made Reggie a moderator so he can type as often as he wants. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
right.
cool.
Yeah. Also, what's up, Reggie? Because thank you for joining us. Everyone who missed it last week, make sure you go watch last week's GAMESCAST where we had Reggie on and talked about the press conference that happened. So hit me, Dave.
Oh, okay. Bell Ramio again.
Don't squeeze me!
Okay.
Bryan?
That's that. I mean, Remy was fucking speaking my language here with the €5 donation saying Immortal Legacy re-release with 2 hours more content. Give me. Yeah, no, totally. And I think there's
cookie pie. He's got the cookie pie emojis in there.
Certainly
too.
Made that happen. Cookie pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? We don't. I mean, 2 hours more content is almost a sequel in Immortal Legacy land. So just give us Immortal Legacy episode 2.
That's what I'm saying. Give us chapter 1 and 2 together as a package, like re-released for
totally
PS5.
works.
All right. So final thing before we move on, I agree with your long shadows here. It says I have zero doubt the PSVR headset will work with the PS5 games. Who knows? I completely agree with that. Yep. And Kev Gret says that's Immortal Legacy number 500 reference. And Reggie says no dev kit yet and no info at all on the PS5 preparations just yet. I have ideas on how D-Day will take advantage of PS5 regardless of what they make available. So yeah, it's going to be nice to see these games that do get a boost. It's going to be amazing.
Let go of me!
And that's I got it.
Go ahead.
That's Pippin Yannis with the Australian $10 donation saying, how do you think backwards compatibility will work with all my digital download games? We'll have to repurchase them all again for PS5. I'm going to guarantee you on this one, saying that you just download them from the PlayStation Store on your PlayStation 5 all over again. Just log in with the same profile. It better all be there. Otherwise, Sony has made a huge error. there's no other way that would work. So you
I
shouldn't
mean,
have an issue.
If you look at the transition between PS3 and PS4, the stuff that worked on both was pretty much cross-buy, right? Like you got it on each platform. If you bought it, you could play it on either one. Is that right? Or is that wrong?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What was the question?
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to think the transition between. I'm trying to think of the transition between PS3 and PS4. And if you bought a game that worked on both,
there were games that worked on both. You had to,
well, yeah, I'm thinking of like Odin Sphere. Actually, Odin Sphere, you had to buy the PS3 or the PS4, and they weren't.
There was no compatibility. But this is
they really better.
Backwards compatibility has always been kind of an issue with PlayStation. It's always been about the new exclusives, the new games, and stuff like that. So, we'll just have to wait and see for the rest of it. I'm ready to move on though from this because
let's go. Let's keep going. Yeah, we got so much stuff to talk about. We're 40 minutes in.
I know. I can't believe we're 40 minutes in.
Your laptop's holding up surprisingly well, Dave.
I cannot believe.
Odd on my end. I can't see either of you guys, and I wonder if that's why it's running so well.
Okay. No. You don't need to.
Sure.
All right. So there was a recent rumor about Silent Hill and Sony being in talks with Konami about maybe bringing two. There's been a couple rumors about this over and over, and there was some evidence that seemed like it was true. Yeah. Well, Konami has recently come out and said, quote, "We're aware of all the rumors and reports, but can confirm that they are not true." End quote.
Liars,
and then
liars,
says,
liars,
quote,
liars,
wait,
liars,
and then says,
liars.
quote,
Sorry.
"It's not to say we are completely closing the door on the franchise, just not in the way it is being reported."
Liars.
It's funny, man, because what was the last thing that they said when they usually don't address stuff, right? Yeah. Like Konami usually never addresses anything. And I don't want to get people's hopes up. So just in your head, I never thought it was going to happen anyways. Because I don't want that hope. I don't think anybody wants that false hope. But
they lied about the work conditions for Konami employees. They lied about everything about Hideo Kojima's.
They
departure.
said he's on vacation.
Yeah,
that he's just taking a vacation,
permanent vacation.
He's fine. And all this other stuff goes on, and they don't say anything. So it's even if it is true, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Something's happening. They're just trying to skirt the issue right now.
If I was a Konami executive, I would realize that at this point, we don't make good video games anymore. Right? We only make pachinko machines, and we're just making all our money from fucking pachinko machines. Yeah. And nobody needs to play Silent Hill pachinko. Yeah. Give the license to somebody who can actually do something with it. Take your money and just
and with all this,
can't make a fucking good game anymore.
I know.
Konami game that came out.
No. We've gone through it, but with this Half-Life Alyx coming out, and thank God it was good, by the way. To me, it's like, what is Sony going to do to counter that? Because Iron Man's cool and all, but I don't think Iron Man is a counter for Half-Life. But to me, the simple answer is Silent Hill. I mean, horror is probably one of the best genres, if not the best, that translates into VR. So to me, the big hitter that Sony could pull would be a Silent Hill VR game. Absolutely.
They have so many things that they could do. I think if they managed to actually nail an Uncharted VR game, I think they'd have a pretty big contender for their own AAA exclusive. But whatever. It's Silent Hill in VR is a no-brainer. They need to go in this direction. The last few Silent Hill games, like the normal ones, Downpour, was that what it was on PS4 or PS? Something like that. I don't fucking remember. It was awful. It was really bad. Like it didn't even run very well. They need to license the shit out to people who know what they're doing, or sell the property to somebody who's going to take full advantage of it. It's so ridiculous when properties just disappear for years, right, without anything interesting to show. Like Castlevania on Netflix is great, man, but like, where the fuck are our good Castlevania games, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get any more of those.
They should have been making those Symphony of the Night style games for like the next 20 years.
They could be cashing checks.
They went to Game Boy Advance.
No, they went to GBA and then went to DS and then disappeared completely. Lords of Shadow was awful.
LibNox88 says Downpour was amazing in 3D. You're crazy, Brian. I mean, I think Silent Hill 2 is one of the greatest horror games of all time.
Wait, did it make the gameplay better? Did 3D make the game better? Because those puzzles were awful. I'm walking through the street at like 12 frames a second. I'm like, what is happening here? Oh man. I mean, maybe 3D is like VR, where it like makes everything better, but I don't think it saved that game. Maybe.
Yeah, Alex does have smooth turning, by the way. Now I know it released with click turning, but it's amazing to me how many games we're getting still that have that release with click turning.
That was an accident. They just kind of screwed up the release on that. There was from what I hear, there was a smooth turning option that it didn't work right, and so they did a hot fix and patched that in real quick. Yeah, it's all good. People lose their mind over this shit.
Well, I mean, click turning shouldn't be a thing anymore, or there should be an option to turn it off. I mean, how many times do we have to say it? How many games do we have to say at launch and have to hear about this? I mean, it's getting kind of tiresome, and the click turning is getting worse than what it was before. It's getting
tiresome, but I mean, this is Valve's first, huge VR game. Right. So
I just mean in general.
I know in general, but I'm saying like it's like we go. Why the fuck does this game? We just got the Room VR and it's only a click turning. It's only got no teleportation. But it's it's their first VR game, right? When people start releasing their second and their third VR game, it's not everybody learns from everyone else's mistakes like they should.
Right.
So
I know.
Yeah. Well, next generation, I think things are going to be dramatically different. We're not.
I think it's going to be exactly the same. I think we're going to still have to be shouting from the rooftops and be like,
I don't
get
think
rid of this click turning. Put in smooth turning.
I think people have made their voices.
You want to bet a pizza?
Clear.
Let's bet a pizza right now that next gen PS5, the first big game, if it has click turning only, then you owe me a pizza.
The first big game. You want to say the first big AAA game for PlayStation 5 VR?
Maybe it doesn't have to be AAA. Maybe just like first game with like full locomotion.
He's like, so the first game that meets my criteria that has click turning, that I can win this bet.
I will devise something for this bet. Okay.
Listen, I'll bet you 10 pizzas at the first AAA game for PlayStation 5 VR.
I can't afford 10 pizzas. Well, actually, I probably could.
But you're not going to lose. Don't make a bet that you think you're going to lose.
Just get them from Little Caesars. That's
there you go. Hot $5. What is it?
Hot and ready.
Hot and ready. Thank you. All right. So Bryan.
Hey.
Headmaster.
I hear Headmaster's a thing.
Yes.
Top 20.
They have told us that there is a new update coming, but it's not just any new update. It is their first official DLC pack. Yeah. And what the heck's on it, Bryan? Because I have no idea.
This is like a bunch of shit that they everybody at Frame Interactive was like, oh, we want to get this into the main game, and because of time constraints, because of for whatever reason, just like various reasons. Obviously, a ton of stuff always gets left on the cutting room floor when you're making a game. As we saw with Separation, they had that big giant fucking sentinel walking through. Oh man, if only that was in the actual game. But this is all the stuff that Frame wanted to put into Headmaster originally, and just couldn't make it happen. And now they've got new tricks, new traps, new everything, new obstacles, and they've got 10 new levels, along with one new party level. And of course, I'm sure all of this comes with more story, which is actually the stuff I'm interested in. As cool as this stuff looks, it's like, oh, trampolines, oh, cool, just new levels, fire, all right, great. The story in Headmaster is what kept me playing that game, and that's what I want more of. So this is going to be great. Not
the story. I like the gameplay, and I really like the craziness of it.
You didn't like the story?
No,
dude, that was some of the best voice acting ever.
The story could not keep me. I haven't finished the game actually. Like I went back and I was like, "This is great."
How far did you make it? Because that makes a big difference.
I'm pretty far. I'm pretty far.
So shit has officially hit the fan in Headmaster.
Shit has definitely hit the fan.
Okay.
And that's when I started being like, "This game's amazing." But the gameplay to me, as cool as it was a little monotonous. Like it was like little too repetitive for me. And you know me, I like complex control schemes that everybody complains about, and I like challenges, and it just wasn't enough.
You heard him. He likes click turning and teleportation.
Wasn't engaging.
Those are the control schemes that everyone complained about.
Hit me, Dave.
Oh shit! It's time, isn't it? Oh,
it is time.
50 North Korean dollars. Damn.
Help!
Oh, that was short.
I don't
Wow.
think there's anyone for
Okay,
you.
that was for Your Long Shadows, correct? I had to scroll back a little bit. Your Long Shadows
Yes.
with the 50 NOK donation with Half-Life Alyx out. Everybody's talking about how Sony needs to up their game. Feels like people forgot something's happening with Horizon Zero Dawn already. Yeah, that was one of those things that when we got the word from the person who leaked the information, who obviously should not have leaked the information, they were saying that something big VR land is happening on the capital H Horizon, right? And so that was from the Sony London studio team, right?
Right.
So
right.
so the Blood and Truth guys are working on a Horizon VR game, which is, I mean, it should be fucking sirens and noisemakers and parties and confetti flying down everywhere, right? It should be like piñatas and people smashing things and loud music. People going, this is going to be the next greatest thing ever. But then it's like there was no news. There was just no news. So somebody leaked it, and then it just never.
It's just not confirmed. I think more importantly, don't forget that we have Resident Evil 7, Astrobot, Blood and Truth, Skyrim VR, No Man's Sky, and a bunch of others that are really good as well. So I know it's been a minute since we've had like a big AAA big hitter, but there's been tons of great games in between, and yeah, and we have to wait and get something official on that. We don't even know if there is a Horizon game, even if it seems like
it seems like that's a thing for sure.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
But at this point, like I don't care. I don't care about the rest of 2020. Save this for PlayStation 5. Make this one of those huge, No,
I don't want it on PS4.
Make this that huge PlayStation 5 launch title that's compatible with the current VR headset, and just show everybody how amazing shit's gonna look on PlayStation 5 in your current headset. With click turning, AJ, obviously, because it's the first AAA PS5 title we're gonna get for VR. It's obviously gonna have click turning. Save it, right? At this point, anything that's really gonna push the hardware, just save it. I just want PlayStation 5 to be like fucking swinging. What's the?
I don't want to say anything. I have one word.
Swinging. Oh crap! I forgot words. Come out swinging. That's the expression I was trying.
There you go.
I didn't know what you're
I don't really know.
Swinging dicks or something.
Swinging dicks. That's something I say all the time. Swinging dicks. What do you guys think about swinging dicks?
I don't know. It was just. Anyways, Beat Saber.
Wow. Okay.
Got an update today.
Seamlessly.
No. I don't know. But yeah, Beat Saber got a DLC pack, the Timbaland pack, and I know, Dave, you said you were a fan of Timbaland. I checked this game out.
I have thoughts.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts too. Brian's going somewhere, so
yeah, we'll talk about our thoughts.
That's usually your thing, to just get up and walk away. Or
we don't need him anyway.
No,
we can run the show without him, right?
All right. What do you guys want to do now that Brian's gone? Just let us know. No, please. You go ahead and go first.
Okay. So I like Timbaland, as I've said before. His kind of golden era with like all the Aaliyah stuff, and he had all these really cool. I think I talked about it either in a GAMESCAST previously or whatever. But these songs are brand new, and they're made just for Beat Saber. Although I assume they're going to end up on Spotify or something. And they feature a lot of artists who I've never heard of. But the disappointing thing for me is that they kind of sound like Timbaland as an old man producer trying to capture what current radio producers are doing and not his unique style. Like, Timbaland had a very specific style of how he made music. You could tell it was a Timbaland song. And now a lot of these on this new Beat Saber thing just seem like kind of bland. Like,
weren't these made for Beat Saber or no? Are these?
Yeah, they're made specifically for this pack.
Okay.
And so I just feel like he's not really hitting on the same cylinders that I expect him to in the past. And it's sort of like, you get a Green Day pack and you get new stuff that doesn't sound as good as the old stuff. Being a music fan, that happens a lot of times. So I don't think he's in his prime anymore. Most of the songs sort of just bounced off me, and they were kind of bland, kind of boring. I did like one of them, something about I like it, or that's the way I like it, or something like that. There was maybe one or two that I kind of enjoyed. But for the most part, it just sounded like a really good producer who has a very unique style. trying his hand at making radio pop that's on the radio right now today. And it just didn't really gel. I don't think that's like his sweet spot. So it didn't really hit for me too well. But the mapping was cool. I like the mapping just fine. It's not as hard as some of the recent packs they've put out. Obviously, like the Camellia one was hard as balls.
I seem like I might be in the minority here, but it's my opinion, so I'm gonna wear it proudly. I'm going kind of against the VR grid in the chat too, who said he liked the mapping as well, but he said the music wasn't very good. I kind of felt the opposite. I felt like I liked the music, like me. I mean, I was a little disappointed with this pack, and no, not because it wasn't metal, although that is a valid reason. But that's not why. I did not like the mapping at all because I didn't think that. First of all, I played it on Expert Plus, and I flew through these on Expert Plus with like
they're a lot easier.
They're very easy. Every time they have one of these popular bands that they like to put in, they make them
not exactly like a currently popular band or anything.
Yeah, well, okay, so let me be clear on something because I saw Kev Gret's comment in there as well, and this is not like a popularity thing. This is Yaroslav Beck has said that he, since day one, has wanted to do something with Timbaland in Beat Saber. So that's what this is.
And that's really cool. I just wish
it's a personal thing.
Timbaland. I wish Timbaland had approached it differently, but I don't think he's in his prime anymore. Obviously, I don't even listen to his old songs. God damn, if I could play Aaliyah and Beat Saber, fucking sign me up, man. I would love to do that. Yeah. Or like Missy Elliott or those Justin Timberlake songs. Like those have a wide. People know those songs. People like those songs. This stuff, nobody knows these artists. They're not really. I mean, they're likable songs, but they're also very forgettable. They just didn't leave any impression on me at all.
I just think the difficulties. I think I should never be able to jump into Expert Plus the very first time and be able to just breeze through it. I don't think I should ever be able to do that. That does not define Expert Plus to me. The other problem I had was like the dancing, the moving, the grooving stuff. In terms of mapping, that's something else I like to take very seriously or keep an eye on. And I didn't think like the dance moves and stuff it was making you do was that great either.
So I like the stuff they were making me do on hard, but I didn't play on Expert or Expert Plus. I played a little bit on Expert, but mostly I played on hard. And like I said, they were pretty easy for hard, but there were a few movements that I liked that were new movements I haven't seen before. AJ takes grooving seriously. Right.
That's what I heard.
Bryan, what did you think about this pack?
It's okay. I mean, I don't love it or hate it. The music is, I mean, it's mild at best. It's like almost background noise. I didn't hear a lot of amazing hooks. I didn't hear anything that grabbed me right off the bat. But with any good music, I don't think I love it or hate it right off the bat. It always takes a few listens for it to kind of sink in, and then I form an opinion later on. And I've seen that with other Beat Saber packs.
That's not the case here. This is not as good as Timbaland's shit.
Well, I'm not. This is a genre I'm not familiar with, right? I don't Timbaland's old stuff. I'm not like, oh, this is not his good stuff. I'm just not familiar at all, right? And so I don't care if it's his best work or his worst work or whatever. I listened to each of these songs once. I played through each of the songs once. I beat them all on hard really pretty quickly because that's where I start. I'm not like AJ. I can't start on Expert or Expert Plus. So I could tell right away this is Imagine Dragons difficulty. This is like on the lighter side. This is for beginners like me, and so that works great. I
just don't see the point of Expert. What's the point of Expert Plus then? To me,
I'm not saying
it's hard to get this. You're too good, AJ. Jessica Girl says, but AJ, you're also just getting better. So over time, these Expert Plus tracks will become naturally easier. I understand that, but they shouldn't be this easy. This is too easy, is what I'm saying for Expert Plus.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong either. I'm saying that this one just happens to err on the side of an easier skew, like the Imagine Dragons pack. And so, yeah, I mean, I think there should be a little bit more of a level of difficulty across all of the song packs, across all of the songs, where where if you're good at normal, you should probably be able to finish all the normal ones, pretty well. And if hard is difficult for you, then all of them should be kind of the same difficulty on hard. But
okay, here's what I think though. I've said this before, and I'll say it a million times. Beat Saber needs something like Dance Dance Revolution has, where it's a number of feet, and you know how many feet. The bigger the number of feet is, the harder it is. But it could be normal, easy, beginner, expert, and have a variable range of feet. So like you can play one game or one song on expert, and maybe that's 6 feet, but another song on expert is 10 feet. And you know that means that even though I'm playing on expert, this one is going to be way harder. And I think something like that in Beat Saber, just like a number of sabers to show how hard it is, or something to differentiate within a certain, because expert plus Camellia is not expert plus, Imagine Dragons.
Absolutely.
They're nowhere near each other at all.
Right.
And so if you're going to put it in that category, there needs to be some additional kind of way to reference, like, how hard is it actually? Yeah. So as you're looking through, like, okay, this is one that I want to try because it's super difficult. I don't know. It's odd.
All right.
And I gotta be honest. I know I'm part of the problem with this whole Beat Saber thing. I just buy every single track pack that comes out. I'm not picking and choosing.
You have a channel for it.
Well, yeah. But also, I'm not like a Beat Saber master. I'm not streaming every single thing that comes out. I'm just buying them because I just want a bigger library. And I think that's obviously their business strategy. They say, well, if we release 1,000 things at once, people are only going to buy what they want instead of just buying everything that comes out. And so so that's why I'm part of the problem. I'm just buying shit that I don't even care about. Like, I don't care about this at all, but I'll play through the songs and I want to get good at them just because they're Beat Saber tracks. That's all. We should probably mention, unless do you guys have more to talk about with this song pack in particular?
No, I think I've said everything I needed to say. We kind of went on at length already about it. So,
well, in that case, we should probably mention that Yaroslav Beck, unless you guys said this already while I was getting more copy.
Oh, no, yeah, this is really cool.
I was going to mention this.
Talked about the stream. Yeah, I meant to bring that up too.
Yeah, he said on Twitter, basically, there was discussions with everybody kind of stuck at home and like a lot of people, like struggling to like get their steps in or like get exercise in, that kind of stuff. While they're stuck at home, they were talking about Yaroslav Beck basically doing an exercise track where it's like this extended like endurance thing, and releasing that for free for all Beat Saber.
God, and if he calls this a fitness track, what the hell, man? Right. Like, what are you trying to do to us? How skinny do you want us to be? like because most of the songs already are fitness track. Like, Jesus, man.
I'm looking forward to
the ones
that's something I'm curious
about. Like Angel Voices or something where it's very long, or some of those Camellia songs are like 5 or 6 minutes, and you're just like, oh my god.
The newest Camellia ones, oh shit.
I wanted to mention also, he didn't just announce that he was doing one. This was really cool, and I hope they keep doing this. He did a live stream on the Beat Games YouTube channel and had people give input as he was making the song. Like, you could see the process behind him working on a Beat Saber track.
It was cool, and you could see how much fun he was having making the song.
And he was just answering people's questions and having a good time and stuff.
I watched that. It was pretty cool.
It was a very cool stream. I'm glad they did that, and I hope more people, everyone's stuck at home. You want to get your mind off stuff. That's kind of a cool way to bring the community in and just kind of give us a cool little distraction, I guess. So,
all right. Anything else on Beat Saber?
I think I'm Beat Sabered out, man.
Okay, so but that is cool. I do hope to see more stuff soon with them. But all right, so Mini Motor Racing by the Binary Mill also got an update this week, and basically added something that we all kind of wanted, and that is a true driver's seat first-person mode.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to play this?
Yes, and I actually had never played this game previously. I heard things that were kind of mixed. It was a little expensive at the time, and I said, I've got touring carts. I don't need to play this. But it was on sale in the EU.
We watched you purchase it in real time on Viewer Takeover last week.
That is correct. I did buy it. Right. And I started playing it very late, and I ended up staying up even later because I got hooked, and I had to play like 7 or 8 cups in a row. The first-person mode is very, very good.
Yeah.
It's so perfect. Like, it's not.
They also increased the speed.
Yeah, it feels great. It can be a little, I guess, if you have some motion sickness issues. The turns are very tight.
Very tight.
So you're just like wah 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 wah. And I actually turned up the the blinders like a little bit. But they're actually pretty non-invasive. They just sort of come in when you need them, and then they recede. So like when I'm taking a hard turn, they'll come in for a second and they go away. And Binary Mill makes very polished, good-looking games, and for sure, like in first person, this looks really goddamn good, and it runs so beautiful. I mean, they're great tracks. They're
obviously able to be beautiful because they're so small. They're like these are supposed to be like micro machines type courses where they're all like supposed to be on this very very small playing field, where and so that's how they're able to get the detail in a lot of these tracks. I'm sure Dave, you saw this, that some of these tracks you can go through a lap in 10 to 12 seconds, where other ones take 25 seconds. But I mean, when you can get through a lap in 10 seconds and has like 7 laps and like just over a minute you've done 7 laps, that's insanity.
Well, and that kind of leads into the just one more game or one more cup or whatever sort of thing. Like, I just kept wanting to play again because it's like a quick hit of just adrenaline and it's really fun.
I can do another one in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. And so you just like keep doing it for a long time. And I think there's a good variety of courses. There's a lot of cars. You got the upgrades as you go through with the kind of campaign system where you trick out the car that you're using.
I love how they have the Ninja Turtles van and the you can change the coat of paint. And they've got like the Ninja Turtles signature van. They've got the Mystery Machine on there. A couple other ones. You got the police car. I was saying like I want to make the.
I want to trick out the cop car.
The Bluesmobile or something.
Oh, the
Fruit
Blues
Ninja
Brothers,
Buggy.
Yeah.
Fruit Ninja Buggy. There's lots of variety to choose from. Did you guys notice too? I'm guessing this was here before, but I never noticed it before. But you can customize your helmet, your gloves too. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
I never knew that.
Well, I think that's probably because of the first person mode, because you can actually see your gloves now, right?
Yes, and Great Tantrum asked, can you play the Rocket League part in first person? And I'm so glad you asked, because yes, you can play bumper ball is what it's called in first person in the driver's seat. Anybody that likes Rocket League, somebody asked to, yes, this is still on sale in the UK as well. So I would definitely pick it up on sale in the UK. Yeah, Lipnox, definitely, if it's on sale there.
One thing I want to mention, though, is as far as it being on sale, the deluxe edition is also on sale, and I would kind of recommend that you don't buy. I bought the deluxe edition, and it started me off with the DeLorean, which is like a special car that's pretty good, but then also $5,000 to upgrade at the start. And so the first few rounds, it makes you play beginner all the way through. And I was just kicking everybody's ass. It wasn't even close.
This patch was supposed to adjust the difficulty curve, and it didn't adjust it for beginners at all.
But the other thing too is if you're on beginner and you've got that deluxe pack, you have money to trick out your car before the first race, and so you're already just way better than everybody. Yeah. And so it was fun, but I had no challenge in the beginner so far. I'm hoping it flattens out as I get to higher difficulties. Because it looks and feels and plays great. I just don't like not having the challenge because I feel like I'm just always in first place no matter what.
Yeah, I definitely want to. These guys are going to be playing. The cats are going to be playing after the GAMESCAST. I'm with you guys. If you're playing Mini Motor, I'm in. So make sure everybody joins our Discord in the description. And we'll all have to play tonight. And so not only that.
Oh, good.
I was going to say not only so anybody Rocket League in VR was like a dream of mine. Rocket League was one of my favorite games that came out. I played soccer for a long time, and it is like one of the best soccer games, if not the best soccer game I've ever played. And a lot of stuff that I learned from that integrated. Yes, Corix, it does have multiplayer as well. It's got like 4v4 multiplayer, but there's another mode as well called the like mini machines mode that was added as well, and it makes your it's the regular racing, but it makes your car even smaller, and it's even faster. It's like micro machines, and it is fast as hell, and I loved it for that.
And wait, you can do that in first person too?
First person micro machine mode. Wow. It's in when you go to arcade, it's under bumper ball, and it's brand new. And I went onto the track and I was like not sure at first. I'm like, this looks exactly the same.
At first,
and then
you were tiny.
And then like I took off and and then I noticed that the car to the right of me was like really tiny. And the track was like a lot bigger. So and and then I just took off. Man, it is so much faster. It's so good.
Yeah. So two things. First, the next edition I want for this game, since the binary mill is so obviously committed to doing this, which I wasn't sure was going to happen, right? We wanted too many things from it, and it just seemed like it wasn't going to happen. This is such an RC Pro-Am game, and this actually gets into Sonic the GameCat's question too. This game is not a kart racer. This is more like RC Pro-Am, but RC Pro-Am in first person now is available. And what I want from this is I want the third person mode from like above the track, like that isometric RC Pro-Am style view. I want there to be a version in VR where you can kind of get close, like RC Pro-Am close, and have it follow your cars around the track. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not because the game is an RC Pro-Am style game. Right?
Yeah.
And especially so in non-VR, because in non-VR, that's the default setting is here's your RC Pro-Am isometric view, and we're going to follow your car around the screen in that exact same way. I want that mode in VR. And they were like, yeah, that made people sick. And I was like, make me fucking sick. I want it.
Yeah, I think that would make most people sick, which is probably why you don't have that mode.
Right.
I think that would make most everybody sick.
Give it to me. I want it. The other thing,
yeah, I would want it too, but I've not as much as first person though.
And leading into Sonic's question, Sonic the GameCat said, by the way, I don't know who in the chat asked, is this a fucking cult? Why does everyone have GameCat in their name? Yes.
I know it is.
Watch Dogs Gamer.
People
He's like, why does everyone have GameCat in their name? Why is your name not... Why does your name not have Game?
Why isn't it Watch Dogs Gamer the GameCat? People who watch PSVR without Parole change their name to GameCat to show their allegiance to the channel. Don't feel as though you have to, but feel as though you can. Sonic said, so how do you feel about mini motor racing compared to touring karts with this update? And I got to say, they're dramatically different games. This is not a kart racer.
I like this better. I'm just going to say it.
I was thinking about it. My answer was going to be that I have to put more hours. I have 20 hours in touring carts. I have like maybe 4 hours, 5 hours in this game, and I've only played it for another like hour or so with this mode. So I have to play it a lot more before I can make a decision on that.
Now, Brian, also, when you say it's not really like a kart racer, isn't there a mode where you have power-ups and weapons and stuff?
There is,
but
it's not like traditional though.
So I only play
that mode yet,
only play in that mode because without the weapons, I feel like this game is a little on the boring side. And
even in first person?
Yeah. But
even in first person?
Even in first person. Because I started in that mode, and when you play for hours and hours and hours in that mode, and then you switch to the other mode to go through the entire campaign without weapons, suddenly it seems like it's missing something like huge. You're just like, racing around the track.
I started with the regular mode, so I haven't even seen the weapons yet.
So, but the weapons are like minimal, right? There's not like this huge variety of them. Some of the weapons are stupid. I hate that fucking wrench. They need to do something with the wrench. It's awful.
I switched to the classic mode, and I'm definitely enjoying that more because my first playthrough, I played through the X mode, and I'm not crazy about it.
I just don't feel like this doesn't feel like a kart racer to me. This feels like a Micro Machines racer.
It's not a kart racer.
Right.
And somebody did ask you if this has wheel support. This does not have wheel support, but I hope that does come in the form of an update.
They should get some wheel support in there.
Wheel support would be cool.
How does it feel?
But I will say, this is the best game using the move controllers and grabbing a steering wheel. This is by far the best game that does that. I have yet to play another one. I don't think many do, but
I didn't
for
like
using the moves.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, touring carts did not do it well. Touring carts I loved with the wheel and with the move to like use the weapons and stuff. But no, this is hands down the best one that uses. Not many other games do it. Like they just did it perfectly. So,
one thing I want to say about this game too is, I totally forgot it. I've been sitting on it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh man, I had a thing I really wanted to say."
Okay, why you think Dave Page in the chat says?
Oh no, I know what it is. I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
So no, Dave Page can't talk. I'm talking.
Wait, but he said I don't have GameCat in my name because, and I want to be like, can we fill in the blank, Dave?
Blank.
Right? Can everyone in the chat?
We can fill in the blank.
Okay, everyone fill in the blank. Dave Page doesn't have GameCat in his name because blank. Everyone in the chat, go. Dave, what were you gonna say?
The best answer gets a copy of Paper Beast. The best answer gets a copy of Paper Beast because I have an extra copy to give away.
I like that.
So, so give us some good Mad Libs out there.
But now
what I was going to say is everybody's been stoked about this concept of Rocket League in first-person VR.
Yes.
I got to tell you, it's way better and way easier to play it in third person. you cannot play Rocket League in first person effectively because you have to have a big, wide view of the
but it's so much
arena.
more fun.
It's fun, but what I'm saying, as soon as I switched to third person, I was actually getting goals and playing the game. And when I was in first person, I was just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Let me ask you
a question, Dave. Anything.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, have you ever played soccer in real life?
Yes, and I've played a lot of Rocket League too.
Can you play soccer in real life in first person?
Yeah, but you're not in a car.
I'm just asking.
That's covering up most of your vision. It's not. It's covering up a decent portion of your vision. And also,
look, I get what you're saying. It's a little hard to score. It is a little hard to score, but I think with practice, I think you can get used to it and get better at it.
It's just, I'm just saying, it's as much as everybody thinks it's going to be so great in first person, it's kind of almost unplayable at first. You got to go third person.
No,
if you wouldn't, I think it's better.
Well,
I mean, look, options, right? Options
are great.
In the racing part, first person is impeccable. You must use first person. In Rocket League, I don't care. I'm going to kick your ass. It might be in third person. And you're going to be driving around. You're going to be having a great time driving, trying to hit it in first person. But I'm going to have a great time scoring on you in third person over and over and over again. Let's put that to the test.
All right.
1v1 bitch.
All right. Sounds good.
I hear pizza bet is on the line.
So, are you guys ready to move on?
Mm-hmm.
We really need to move on.
Cornflakes.
Budget Cuts has finally gotten a release date and getting a physical release from Perp Games, and I know a lot of people have been excited about this. It's supposed to be a really, really fun stealth and goofy game, and May 15th is the day. Wait, that's the same day as Iron Man. Oof.
I'm going Budget Cuts.
You're going Budget Cuts. No. I'm going both.
I'm definitely going both. Hopefully yes. I'll have both ahead of time so I don't have to choose. But we'll see.
Yeah, but excited for this. You guys excited for this game? Because I get so many comments about this game.
I'm excited. The problem is
sorry, I'm trying to review this. I made a game for people in the chat to give the Mad Lib, and then I totally stopped paying attention. So I got to catalog.
You deal with the chat. My issue with Budget Cuts.
Which one is the best?
My issue with Budget Cuts is everyone is already excited for Budget Cuts too, and I feel like at this point PSVR is playing catch up on this one, right? And I just hope that I just hope that everything comes together well. I want this game to come out. I want it to be great, and then I want to be like, okay, now give us the news on Budget Cuts too. Like, let us know that that's coming a little bit closer for PSVR to the PC release date. Like, I hate playing catch up like this. Am I excited for it? Absolutely. I just hope it aged well because it's been a little while since this thing came out.
Yeah, my only small concern is that they did say they had some issues on the PC that they never were able to fix completely. And then the last thing that they were doing before bringing it to PSVR is they were getting the throwing down. So hopefully look, the throwing is pretty simple for VR if you just add like an aim assist. Like at the very least, if you add aim assist, it's pretty easy to do, as like Sirento has shown, because I can hit something from the opposite side of the map with my glaive in Sirento and just like fling, and hit it.
Even Eclipse Edge of Light, I had that little artifact, and I'm just using the DualShock 4 and tossing it like a quarter mile across the environment, and somehow I'm hitting like fucking pottery from like all the way across the room. So yeah, the aim assist is great.
Yeah, looks like there's tons of people excited for this. And of course, I would imagine the Budget Cuts 2 is going to make its way to us as well after. The important part is that they said the stories tie together. So you don't really want to skip. It's like maybe you want to skip it or don't skip it. But if you play Budget Cuts 1 first, you'll be rewarded with like some inside jokes and story that ties together in number 2.
Yeah, and this is actually pretty awesome for Perp Games, and awesome, obviously, for anyone who's a physical collector, because so frequently they say, hey, this game is coming out on PlayStation VR, and in a month it'll get a physical release. Or, hey, remember this game that came out a year ago on PlayStation VR? Oh, we're in talks to bring it out physically. Yeah, this is like one of the very first, like, I think this and Golem really, like one of the first ones they've done where it's like day and date, where you can just choose which one you want it on, and you don't have to wait. It's not an issue. And I hope they start doing more of this as they develop better relationships with developers. I'd really like to see them having more day and date physical releases.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's a great thing to have. One thing I want to say is that let's take a sidebar here, and we're going to go through the best answers, or actually all the answers, and decide what the best answer is so far. So the prompt, as we know, is from Dave Page. He says, "I don't have GameCat in my name because," and then we got a big blank here. "I don't have GameCat in my name because he's a dog," says Lipnox with a question mark. Doesn't have it in his name because he can't spell cat. Bob Zarkov says he's secretly an undercover cat and doesn't want to blow his cover.
That's the winner so far. Yep.
Geisen doesn't know how to change it. That's what he
probably,
says.
That might be the truth.
Yeah. I don't have GameCat in my name because I don't know how to change it. Let's see. Because you eat cats, says What a Channel. No, probably not that one.
Is he Alf? Remember Alf?
Joe Gruber didn't really fill the Mad Lib prompt in. He just said Dave is the Chuck Norris of Game Cats. He doesn't need it in his name.
Oh, that's kind of answering it, yeah.
Geisen answered twice, actually. He said, because the significant other won't let me, which I kind of like too. His are don't know how to change it, and significant other won't let me. I think maybe together they make one great one. I don't know. Let's see. What else do people have to say? Oh, we got a pun here. Nick says, because he's not on the same page as us. Dave Page?
Get out of here.
Dave
Somebody...
Page?
Your moderator duty has been removed.
Ban yourself, man. Ban yourself. That's terrible.
This is why I don't trust
says
you, Nick.
because I'm allergic to pussy cats.
Ooh.
Let's see. Because his dog ate it. Because he's cool and edgy.
Hit me, Dave. Dave, hit me.
Oh, geez. Hold on. I'm almost done. Because he's not a cool game cat. Wow.
Shen Muso says he doesn't have a game cat in his name because fuck you. That's why. That's going to be a $5 donation from Nihilist Ryan. The game feline says budget cuts looks like Job Simulator had a baby with Apex Construct.
That actually is very accurate. That's
sort of true.
Somebody had to do it.
Well, it's actually so Job Simulator, budget cuts 2, fast travel, and what's the budget cuts developer?
Oh,
no.
Syncode.
What do they call?
Come on, Brian.
Syncode.
Neat Corporation.
Neat Corporation. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
They actually knew each other like back in college and stuff. The teams did, and because they like shared like a workspace together, apparently. So that kind of led to their collaboration with Budget Cuts 2. And yeah, they do know each other, and they're actually working together right now. But obviously, Job Simulator's Alchemy Labs. But yeah, there's like some Apex Construct Easter eggs in
Somebody had to force those two to meet.
Yes,
okay,
but
so
it does look like a Job
My
Simulator.
vote goes to Bob Zarkov.
Zarkov. What does Bob
Zarkov
Zarkov say?
I don't know, he's one of the early ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm way
He
past
said
this
he's
stuff.
secretly an undercover cat and doesn't want to blow his cover.
I
That's
like
your
that one.
guys' favorite?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got cats on the inside.
All right. So, Bob Zarkov, drop your PSN in the chat here, and I'll send you a copy of Paper Beast if you don't already have it.
Nice. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks for trying, everybody. Thanks for trying twice. Some people, I don't even know if that's in the rules
Shen
or not.
Muso had a good one too, though. He's
That was a late entry, but I like that one too.
All right. So, Final Assault by Phaserlock has finally gotten a release date.
Yeah.
And Corix everywhere can rejoice now. But Atmos, I wouldn't be too worried about budget cuts. I mean, we'll give you guys a review on it. So that was a long time ago. So I'm sure we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I was a little worried about that too. But I think it'll be great. So, but of course, always.
What are we worried about?
Wait for reviews. He said he's kind of worried after I said what they said about the PC game thing. But I don't think they would have come out and said that if there was an issue with the PSVR version. Because there's like apparently when budget cuts released on PSVR, it was like apparently like broken, and then they fixed the broken stuff, the game breaking stuff, but there's still like some bugs in it. I don't think they would have come out unless they're just that transparent, which I would give them mad props for. I don't think we'd expect those same kind of issues. They said the only issue that they were working on was getting the throwing mechanics down.
Good.
But all right. So Final Assault is it's like what is it a MOBA? Is it a real time strategy? How do we describe this thing?
I was going RTS, but yeah.
RTS.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is an award winning VR game studio. Phaserlock is, and this is a popular
for?
I'm not going to look up, but this is
right
a very popular. This is a very popular RTS. Yes, and it's coming March 31st is when it's happening. Brian, do you have any other info on this game? Do you have like a little press kit or something you know some info on?
Oh, you wanted me to be prepared for this show? You didn't tell me.
Actually, no, hold on. AJ, I got something to tell you.
What's that?
I don't recognize any of these games that they've made previously, but if you look at their website, 2 of their games that are not the one you just mentioned, Final Assault, Final Approach and Final Approach Pilot Edition, both say coming soon to PlayStation VR. Yeah. So this is not their first, or this is not their last PSVR game that we're going to get, it sounds like.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Those look like flying games, which is kind of cool. Like a dogfighting kind of game.
Now.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it too. I didn't know this.
Yeah. So he must have just updated this. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, there's even all these games have a picture of the PSVR and it says coming soon. Like they're really they mean it.
Dude, Final Approach. No. Holy crap. Okay, so now that I'm finally at the Final Approach page and I'm seeing footage of it. Dude, we broke the news on this like 2 years ago. This was coming to PSVR, so like this has been in the works for a long time. Hopefully, though, that now they're getting the ball rolling on Final. I actually thought this was the same game. I can't lie to you.
You know, I feel like it's probably good practice to like make the newest game that you're working on compatible, and then go back and work on your other ones with the knowledge that you have.
Yeah,
you know, like
so funny
because they'll be new to us when they come out. But they're in Austin too. I should go visit them sometime.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about this one, and not because it's a genre that I'm interested in, because it's honestly not a genre I'm interested in. Generally, these are games I avoid. But one of the great things about being kind of forced into reviewing games for the channel is that you're forced to play stuff that you wouldn't normally play. You have to kind of go outside your comfort zone. You gonna hit that, Dave? Is that what you're doing?
I just didn't want to be too rude. You were in the middle of a word.
Absolutely,
be rude.
We got Professor Lilith. Cat face, cat sitting, cat standing.
Taller cat.
No, taller cat, different cat, 2 different cats.
Kitten standing, cat standing.
Thank you so much for the donation, Professor Lilith.
Okay, so I do like real-time strategies. I love Command and Conquer. I love StarCraft. I know those are kind of old, but so am I. And like those games can be really fun, and this one just looks like it has a lot more polish and detail than I mean, the footage that he shows is in-game footage. It looks like that is not some tricked up trailer to make it look better than what it actually is. That is legit in-game footage, it seems, and just the special effects everywhere. Justin Incredible is saying 1v1 multiplayer crossplay. So yeah, this is I know Corks is excited for this game. I'm so happy for Corks. You have no idea, because he plays Cork still, and this should be much, much, much better.
Yeah, Cork is
a great
game.
Just
needs some polish.
I just read that this is going to have crossplay with PC also.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. It's very cool. Did you say that already?
Yes. It's okay, though. I know what it's like when you're reading and trying to do research and find stuff, and we're talking. Trust me, I'm usually that guy. All right. But yeah, really excited for this. We should have some news on this soon. We're actually in contact with this developer, so we'll be checking it out really soon. I'm interested to see the other games coming out. Oh, Kevgret says Dev says there's a launch date discount as well.
Good.
Look at there.
Do a price tag on this thing? $20? Is that right?
Looks like a $20 game.
I don't think that's the answer I was looking for. let me go over to the Steam store and see how much it's going for over there, because that's usually my go-to. $30. So
$30.
That's $30 is seems to be the going rate for a lot of new games lately, and for better or for worse. So we'll probably be talking about that price point a little bit later in the show, I think.
$30 for RTS. All right. So moving on, we got a little bit snippet of gameplay from Wolf and Pigs. And we had talked about this game before. It's by the same people that made Throw Anything, and we basically said Dave was like blown away by the story on this, by the art style stuff. Looked like it has really cool anime art style looking thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but
yeah, I don't actually have this up and running. Let me see if I can't download this real quick.
Yeah, it looks like Okami or something. The way it's got that like cel shaded kind of I don't know, but I don't see anything in VR. I don't know. I'm not seeing where the VR part is. It just looks like a cutscene.
He showed the cutscene before, which was like long in depth thing. It's on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, Dave, and if everybody followed me on Twitter, they would have seen this clip already. But it showed something
Twitter. I just don't look at it.
Very interesting, which was like a grappling hook. Like we finally got to see some gameplay of what it looks like, and he's swinging through like this, like these wooden things on the side of or like metal bars or something, almost like Super Castlevania 4ing it in first person, and like shooting grappling hooks out of his hands and stuff. So we still don't know a lot about this game, but I thought this was pretty cool.
Here, this is super duper tiny. Let me blow it up for you guys. You can see this.
Timing is everything when grappling around in the new world in Wolf and Pig's game. But yeah, Brian's got some Lou Gamecast. I'm super excited for Wolf and Pigs and have no idea what the fuck it is. I agree. No idea, but it looks really cool and it looks kind of promising. And
the grappling does look pretty fucking good, honestly. Yeah.
I wish we had more to go off of. I know it's not much. I do apologize for that, but
I was nervous, man.
The art style actually holds up in the game instead of just in that cutscene or whatever that's on the trailer. It's like this is gameplay, and it does look pretty good. I also like that he just keeps posting wolf facts on here. Whoever runs this Twitter account. Did you know that wolves can run up to 36 or 38 miles per hour? Check out more wolf facts from the International Wolf Center. Only one person has liked that, and he posted it 4 hours ago, so I'm going to be the second person to like it.
I'll be the third.
Yeah,
I liked it as well.
I like that.
This is pretty simple stuff. I know that like Windlands had its own type of sort of mechanic where you like kind of web sling around. But this looks a little bit different. I don't know if you guys are noticing this in the very small clip that we're watching over and over and over. But it's got these these yellow bars, and when you aim at them, they turn green. When apparently it's okay to launch your grappling hook at it. So I think this is like very Uncharted. Remember Uncharted? It's like where like you could climb anything that was yellow. It's like you're like, I don't know where to go. Just look for something yellow.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see what you're highlighting.
And so I kind of like the way they're doing this. We'll see how it works like in a full-fledged game. But I like this looks pretty good. And you can see in the distance, man, there's a lot of shit going on in the distance. I'm extrapolating a lot of shit going on here.
It looks very good. I have to assume. I mean, is this a PSVR exclusive or is that PC?
No, it's going to be PC and PSVR.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
This is to throw anything dev, so they're going to be like bringing it to PC first, I'm sure. I highly doubt this is going to be a simultaneous launch.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah, love the cartoon style. I'm still looking for that game that's like a cartoon to be like immersed in this like wacky cartoon world. I know there's been a couple, like maybe Accounting Plus or
Hop Along
something.
The Badlands.
No, this looks much better than that. That's different.
Was fun.
But Hop Along was like, it looked like graphics. Like this actually looks almost hand drawn a little bit in the gameplay. It looks like graphics.
I like when things look like graphics.
Yeah, me too.
All right, but yeah, we'll get more on this once we get more info. But next up, Box VR has an update coming. It's a massive DLC coming soon to PSVR. This comes via Jeremy Peterson over at pureplaystation.com. And he says that the Fit XR just announced the first DLC for the PSVR boxing rhythm exercise game, Box VR. It's called the Essentials Pack, and it's coming first to the Oculus Quest March 26th. So it came out today, should be on there. And it says, unfortunately, we're still waiting to hear about the PSVR and Steam release dates, but Fit XR assures us it's coming. Mm-hmm. So this includes brand new workouts and over 60 minutes of eclectic music. According to the press release, there is a track for everyone from happy house, whatever that is, to hard rock. Boom.
I know about happy hardcore. I've never heard anyone talk about happy house. I have to assume it's like in the same boat.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, did you say if it's free? I missed that part.
Not free.
I don't think it's going to be free. It doesn't sound like it's going to be free because it says it's a massive DLC.
I can check my email.
and not like an update, you know.
Yeah, I can check my email here real quick and tell you guys exactly how much it's going to cost. I did get a press release, I think, for this. I think the problem here is that come on, where are we? I don't know. This doesn't seem right. Oh, here we go. They're launching it. It's gonna be $10, and includes an hour of brand new workout music, new music genres like dubstep. Yeah, so nothing crazy different. The problem is they give us so much content out of the gate, right? How many songs are included in that? Like the original release had so much stuff.
The original had a lot, and then they dropped a song pack with like 40 new songs on it.
Right. So I can't imagine there's too many people out there clamoring, going, "I need more of this." People are.
Yeah, why not? No, people use this as a daily exercise thing, like all the time.
So
I hear it all the time. So people love this.
I would like to hear from those people and know what they think about. Do they need more content? For people who are using this every single day as a workout tool, like, are you running out of stuff to use? Like, how long is it going to take to actually get through everything that the game has to offer? I don't know. I'm interested, but also this is something that I've wanted to do too. I know a lot of people have said that this is something they do every day, and it's actually been working for them, like losing weight and stuff. And during this time, I can't even go to the gym. Not that I was going to the gym regularly before all of this, but I do need something to kind of keep the blood flowing and keep me in shape. So I might actually begin doing this every morning.
Yeah, it is definitely a hell of a workout. This, and Beat Saber is like more of a finesse kind of workout. This is like brutal, especially if you go. But it's got like the counter and everything, and a bunch of good stuff. So, but yeah, looking forward to this update. DLC. We'll know more later. All right, so in other news, Contagion VR, Just Incredible VR's favorite game ever, is getting the biotech update very, very soon.
Wait, what's the joke there? Does he hate the game?
Yes, he does not like. He has no like. I've never seen Justin hate a game like this before. I liked it. I know it's rough around the edges. I know a lot of people actually that had some issues with it, but I don't know. I didn't have too much of a problem with it, but. They basically said very soon we are on the last stretch biotech mission 4 for PSVR and other VR headsets. This is significant because it's supposed to be more like the first chapter, and it's supposed to be the longest one and like the best one, I guess. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm wondering if they're going to add any other things to it as well, but I think this game did okay actually on PSVR.
It's a zombie shooter. If Arizona Sunshine can sell well, then anything can sell well.
Yeah, we'll see.
The deafening silence after that statement was too much. I actually heard Vertigo Games going, "We're never sending you another fucking key." I heard them say that.
I think
everybody in the PR team just blackballed us.
I'm definitely on their shit list because I did not like Arizona Sunshine that much.
Yeah. Hey, luckily, I mean, to their credit, they fixed it up, they patched it up, they made it playable. I mean, I remember you and I were playing it at launch, and it was just like totally unplayable. And a lot of people, and now, whenever the game's on sale, like it is now, people are going back to my launch review and go, "Oh, it's not that bad actually." And I was like, "Yeah, but at launch it was fucking terrible."
I've said this before, but you can't imagine the comments I get on my Rick and Morty playthrough constantly.
You fucking moron! So of course you can turn.
Just use the turn button, dumbass. And it's like, oh my god, kid.
Yeah.
Did you look at the date on this video?
Right.
Use your head.
Thanks for buying a PlayStation VR this week, and then telling us we're wrong about everything. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So the thing about Contagion is that the stuff that they were showing off earlier on, they showed driving, and so if the driving stuff is going to be, the vehicle stuff is going to be in Chapter 4, and it looks good, man. Like everything they showed looks good, but everything they showed was in a really early stage. They haven't kind of come out with a new Chapter 4 trailer, which I really hope they do soon to kind of get everyone pumped about it.
I mean, whenever there's like a biotech or a biolab, it's usually a good time. House of the Dead 4.
Yeah. I don't know. My favorite parts of any...
Which actually wasn't that great.
Yeah, my favorite parts of any zombie game or anything like that, usually the first stages where it's like super familiar areas where you're like in a mansion, or you're in, a house, or you're in an apartment, or something that like is really familiar. You're out on the streets, then it starts, when it gets into like the biotech labs and stuff, I'm like, okay, this is just like whatever sci-fi tropey
Well, I
stuff.
mean, Resident Evil does a pretty good job in those areas, I feel like.
I felt like my favorite parts of every Resident Evil game were the first 75% until you get to that biotech, until you get to Umbrella Labs.
Well, they got to hook you right off the bat, but there's some cool shit that goes down in those biotech labs.
Agreed.
The Umbrella, like underground.
I'm just saying
stuff.
It's all good. It's just my least favorite parts of those games. But yeah, no, this is I didn't really enjoy Contagion Chapter 2 or Chapter 3. 3 just kind of like threw you for a loop and did something completely different. And from what we hear, it's like just like a Unity asset, the entire mansion. So
it did kind of blow my mind when I first played Chapter 3 though, because I was like, I've never imagined playing a game from this perspective. Like usually you're surviving as like some people, or you have like a bunch of guns to fight back. So to play as like the daughter of like this mansion or whatever was like so weird to me. Like it was actually, I thought that was a really cool concept. Of course, wasn't as fun or as exciting as Chapter 1, but I was like really blown away by that concept. I thought that was a cool concept.
Also not as exciting as Clock Tower 3. That did it pretty well.
Oof. Wait. I don't.
That's when Capcom bought the franchise.
I played 2. Yeah, I played
Clock
2.
Tower 3 was on PS2.
1 and 2.
Yep.
All right. Justin Grubble says this better come before Saints and Sinners. It will.
Otherwise,
I think they'll squeak in right in time.
And and obviously, this is a free. They're saying this is a free update, right?
This is a free update. If you bought the game, you'll have access to this, so no worries.
Good. They really need a good next chapter in this game, because I feel like after Chapter 1, it just kind of went off a cliff.
Yeah. Well, all right. So that is it for the news, guys. We have 3 games this week, 3 big games that it is time to talk about. And first, we are going to talk about Pixel Reef's Paper Beast for PSVR.
I'm riveted. I can't wait. I'm super excited for this conversation.
People are very interested to see what Dave's opinion on this one is. And just a disclaimer.
Nobody got the notification when I streamed the other night where I gave my full review to VR Grid when he asked me what I thought about it. Also,
that
free for Betty PSVR.
Thank you.
$4.99. What's up, Betty? Says happy Friday Eve. Cheers and shots to you all. Kissy face, wavy hand. I guess I'll do this.
What's up, everybody? But yeah, this will be there between these 3 games. I don't think this is going to be the game. We are going to be disagreeing a little bit. We might get into some fights here. So if everyone, don't get nervous if we start arguing. Okay.
I want to get into fights with people in the chat.
Yeah.
I won't, because you know what?
Let's fight with everybody.
I feel like the 3 of us are mostly on the same page as far as Paper Beast is concerned, but I think we're the minority. Every other reviewer I've seen has talked about what an amazing experience it is.
I'm closer to the reviewers than you guys are, but I have my complaints.
Well, Dave, why don't you take us away and tell us your thoughts on this game?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, and make sure you say what the game is and how it works and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Paper Beast is sort of kind of an abstract environmental, like natural puzzle game, if that makes sense. Basically, the environment and the creatures in it are used to progress in certain ways. So you can grab creatures, you can grab plants, you can, in certain ways with certain tools, like adjust the environment. And sometimes creatures will do that for you, like put sand in a certain place that you need to create a bridge, or remove sand, or like reroute water. And it's all very, you just kind of take it on your own. It doesn't tell you anything. There's no hint system. You're just in an area and you have stuff going on. And you just have to piece it together. Like, okay, what does this creature do? And where should I have to go here?
I need to give you a timeout for 1 second, Dave. Why don't you hit that for me real quick?
Joe Grover. Whoa, that's a different color than I've ever seen because it's such a big tip.
I'll read this one. This is Joe Grover with $50 donation. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate your generosity, keeping this place running. Magical and unnerving, off balance and wonderful. And those worms are creepy cool. I love not fearing for my virtual life and interacting with the creatures. I also sometimes feel like I've been left at sea without a life raft. In sound, OMG. So he
Okay,
absolutely
I
loves
have
this
to
game.
I have to agree with a lot of what he said. Honestly, the thing for me is that the game really does have a magical quality to it. There's something about it that, like a lot of these games that just show instead of telling you what to do or what's going on. Like there is no dialogue, there is no plot, there is no narrative. It's just like
I assume
there
some of
is
it
a
was
there is a
designed to
narrative,
be
there is a plot,
open to
but
interpretation, though. There is a lot that's open to interpretation.
yeah. And so, I mean, magical is a great word for it because, like, when you see the how living these creatures look, especially the big kind of paper, the white and black creatures with the kind of like vulture head guy.
Right, right.
There's
I like
so
those
much
guys.
detail in some of these creatures, and the big tree guy who you start underneath. They just look gorgeous and so crisp and really expressive. And I think that they did a great job on the effects with the paper craft stuff. A lot of the particle effects are really cool too. There's this kind of tendency for them to be like letters and numbers and pieces of paper all mixed together, which goes with the whole like, is it a simulation? Is it not a simulation theme that it has?
Right.
But so I've said good things about it, but obviously it has snap turning, it has teleport only, and that's going to turn a lot of people off. For me, it didn't kill the experience by any means. I really, really enjoyed it. The thing that actually kills it for me is not the locomotion system; it's the pacing of the game. Because sometimes you will have to stand in one spot and watch things happen.
Oh man, there's so much waiting.
5 minutes, bro. You sit there. And
that's one of my biggest complaints. As much as I got into my review, I didn't get everything I wanted to see. I could go on forever about this game because I'm so torn on this game. It's like almost like a love-hate relationship. And yes, there is a lot of waiting. And in terms of the snap turning and teleportation, smooth turning should be. I will say this will be written on my grave that every VR game should have a smooth turning option. I don't care.
I love that your grave's going to be outdated by next gen. It's like, why do you put this on his grave? That fucking was fixed 20 years ago.
Well, your kids are going to be like, Grandpa was a fucking nerd.
No, look, if that happens, great. That means that we will have succeeded. Hopefully the word has gotten out by then that snap turning needs to be optional. I get it that some people get sick, but for us that don't, it's like awful. But anyways, about the teleportation only, I think it was a missed opportunity for both those things. Wait. Because look, okay. I get that like there's a lot of Eric Chahi games and stuff that are cool and like they present a scene to you and like you have to figure out a problem going on in the thing and it's like a problem solving thing. And then and that kind of reminded me to like a point and click adventure kind of movement where you kind of point and teleport to a new scene, new point of view. However, that being said, I would have loved to just slowly wander through these levels and like look around while doing that. I just want the option.
The thing is, to me too, specifically about the pacing that I was talking about, I think the pacing would feel better if I couldn't zip around the entire area at light speed, just boop, 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 boop,
right.
While I'm waiting for these very slow creatures to walk forward and do what they do. If I was just walking at like a slow pace alongside them throughout that experience, it wouldn't feel so long. But if I'm trapped in an area where they're moving slow and I can move super goddamn fast, it's just a weird juxtaposition. You know what I mean? Like if there was the slow walking like you're talking about, it would feel more natural and I'd feel like I'm sort of enjoying the experience more, like, hey, I'm walking alongside this parade of creatures. This is really cool. Instead of like, oh, what are they doing? I have to wait. And then I just zip around everywhere looking for secrets and like zip back. And, it makes it easy to get bored and just want to hop around a bunch.
I'm gonna go with bored, man. Like, and that's the thing. You it's so easy to say. Oh,
well, it's alternately fascinating and boring. I think there are parts that are super interesting and super caught me out of left field. Things that they made choices about that I was not expecting at all, and I really enjoyed.
See, I think the first half hour,
then the rest of it is fucking you're just standing there waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's enough to kill the game. I really think it's the parts that are magical enough. But yeah, it's sorry, it's your turn. Go ahead. What do you say?
I didn't. It really. I think it gives a really great first impression. You know, everyone was listening to me when I said that I had such a good time with this at PAX, right? Because it's just the first 10 minutes or so when you're first hanging out in the I forget what they're called, the first kind of dog-like, deer-like paper beasts you experience.
They're like, papyrus or something.
Yeah, you know, getting to pick them up and toss them around for the first time, and then being like, oh my god, I don't know if I should be tossing you around. You know, feeding them paper balls and just kind of getting to hang out with them, and slow, this sort of like this structured thing that happens for the first 10 minutes where you kind of follow them, and then they get attacked, and then you have to save them, and then the storm happens, and
But
you're saving other things, and then you get saved by the big creature, and that all seems very well structured and very well paced and really well put together. I feel like that was their tech demo where they said, or their sales pitch to Sony, where they said, "This is the game we want to make," and Sony was like, "Great, make that game." And then the rest of it just kind of was like not nearly as impressive. The magic sort of dies after that. You're just like wandering around. You're in caves. I was teleporting to things, and I was like, I don't even know where I'm teleporting. This is dark and blurry and just not impressive. It doesn't for whatever people are experiencing there with the audio and the visual and the magic didn't work for me after the first 10 minutes. I didn't get any of that. Like, you know, when people talk about like an emotional connection, I think Eric Chahi that was talking about like crying and stuff when in a recent PlayStation blog interview, I think. I was like, I didn't get any emotional connection to this game whatsoever.
I didn't either.
You know, Separation almost made me cry like 2 or 3 times just because all those sound cues hit at the right time, and like it gave me that awesome sense of isolation. I actually felt like I was walking around that world, even with the DualShock 4. And with this game, I never felt like I was really in the world.
So I mean, I know a lot of that is being disembodied because you don't have a legitimate locomotion system, and so you feel like just like a ghost zipping around. Right. But I will say that even though emotionally it didn't exactly have an effect on me like some games have, like you said, Separation or like Ghost Giant or something like that, it did affect me in some way experientially. Like the moments where, say for instance, like, not to do a huge spoiler, you guys won't even understand what I'm talking about, but like where that giant thing appears in the sky and it just starts spitting out like tar and like letters and numbers, and the creatures are all freaking out and it's very tense. Like those moments hit really well. And like when it gets really windy and stuff's blowing everywhere, there's that big sinkhole thing that happens. Like some moments like that are really impactful.
The
not like emotional
effects,
not emotional, but they really get you in the atmosphere of it, like and give you some kind of impression of like turmoil or tension, and like everything is unexplained, so you don't know what this stuff is. I will say I agree that sort of the last part of the game kind of goes off the rails narratively. Like it did seem more structured, like it was going somewhere, and then at the end you're just like, I don't even know what the fuck this was about. Like, and the final scene I just really was confused by and didn't get it and didn't like it.
There was a lot that I really liked about this game. I love the special effects. I love the sound design. Thought that was really good. I just and I'm a big fan of Another World and Heart of Darkness and Eric Chahi and a bunch of stuff. And to me, I kind of wish they would have doubled down on the whole paper Animal Kingdom thing versus adding the. It's like this is where I'm torn, because I love the Another World art style, the giant blue rocks and stuff, the weird creatures, all that. But I do kind of wish that there was more like Animal Kingdom, like a jungle, instead of like some sci-fi like thing going on here. And I love sci-fi like more than anything. But I do kind of wish it was more like a jungle or an ocean, like a beach, kind of other things like that. So I'm really divided about a lot of things in this game. There's a lot that I love about this game, but there's also a lot of stuff that I found so frustrating. Like the second chapter, you walk into this room, there's a cave, and there's a dune, there's a dirt hill, and this looks like some awesome puzzle you're supposed to solve. And I was like so excited. I'm like, oh, I got to figure out what to do with this thing. And like literally all you do is just walk past the room. Like that's the puzzle, is like you have this thing and it's like you grab one thing. I know it's kind of spoilery, but you just grab a mud ball and you go and you just walk up the hill and that's it. And it was like nothing to do
Yeah,
anything in that room.
There's the thing about it though. Sometimes they let you brute force problems that you haven't figured out how to use the animals for. So like there is a way to get those. If you're talking about the crabs, to bring the dirt over to a certain area, there's a way to get them to do that.
Right.
I just couldn't figure it out the first time I played it. And so the way that you can get around it is you just grab the ball of dirt, throw it, and it takes longer, and it's not really like solving the puzzle, but it allows you to progress. So a lot of them have these sort of like, if you can't figure it out exactly the way we want you to, you can play around with stuff enough that you might figure out an alternate solution, which I think is cool as far as puzzles go, to have that flexibility. Because it is, like Kevgret's saying, it's not real puzzles. It's more like a sandbox. But that makes it so that the puzzles, which are there, they are puzzles, Kev. Their flexibility is there. You don't have to just exactly do it the way that it says.
Yeah, I didn't even know where the exit was in that level, right? So I'm walking around and I'm playing with everything. I'm picking up the lanterns. I'm moving the light around. I'm doing everything, and I'm just like observing the creatures' habits and trying to figure out exactly what to do. And I didn't even know where the exit was. I didn't even know where I had to like build a sand mound to teleport out of. Like there's a lot of things like that are just not clear. That I like ambiguity in puzzle games.
That's the trade-off with this, because the whole thing is just mysterious. Like it doesn't tell you anything about anything at all throughout the entire game.
That's not good game design, though. Good game design says, everything just looks the same, and so I didn't even, if you don't even know where you're trying to leave the room, or you don't even know where the exit is that you're trying to get to, then how am I supposed to do anything to get there? That's just simple. That's like game design 101. And so, I'm totally fine being in the minority. I know a lot of people in the chat are like, "This game's amazing. I fucking love it."
Yeah,
that's great.
And there's a lot that I love.
I'm very happy that everyone loves it.
Even though I figured that part out, like without wandering around too much, I will say it is confusing that, as far as like design goes, usually lighting is meant to guide you towards an area. But in that one, the lighting guides you towards the top of that dune, which is not where you're supposed to go. And the area where you are supposed to go is totally dark.
The other thing,
I do understand your issue with that.
The other thing is you have these collectibles that you find for the sandbox mode. And I was like, I spent a lot of time like undigging that dirt mound, thinking that there was like a collectible in there to get. And it's just like, why was this here? Like, I really wish that you could dig up, like I wish they made the collectibles a little bit more fun to find, and like almost like a secret puzzle integrated into like something in the level that you had to like find, because there's so many levels where you mess around with the environment, you dig up stuff, and you have to mess around with dirt. But let me, since I've been talking about this, let me just say that I do think that like a lot of the levels look pretty cool. I love interacting with the animals. The physics of this game are really cool to see. The water, the way the water, like you dig something with the water and you just see the water come down wherever you dig it. The physics of this game are incredible, and to me, that alone like goes a long way in terms of the physics, the special effects, all the stuff. The sandbox mode, I loved. This is where I think Bryan, because Bryan gave it a 6, I gave it a 6.6.
So like the same score.
Yeah, kind of. But I think that 0.6 comes from me where I actually enjoyed the sandbox mode, and like I enjoyed hanging out there. There's so many animals too later in the game that just kind of walk by, and it's like, where is my puzzle with these guys? Like, why wasn't I able to do anything with these? And they're in like they're in the sandbox. Some of them are in the sandbox mode, and I was like, where were these in the main game? Like, why wasn't there a puzzle you'd have to figure out with each one of these? Like, if they have this whole AI, that they have these personalities and stuff that are so interesting and so fun to watch and observe, it's like, why do I get to see them just walk in a parade or something for one point? I don't know. There's just so many things I feel like are missed opportunities in this game, and that kind of bothered me a lot.
The sandbox was incredibly boring. I was like, this isn't something.
But the sandbox is designed for you to create. You create your own little world.
I'm aware of what sandboxes are, AJ.
Yes.
But for a game that I was bored out of my fucking skull for like 3 hours. But by the way, really short, 3 hours, and that was me getting stuck.
My problem was
on.
that it was boring and
Brian,
it was frustrating.
Yeah, guys, you guys are both saying that you were bored and frustrated throughout the entire game.
No.
A lot of the game.
No,
a lot of the game.
Like
for the whole 3 hours.
Easily
Really?
30%, like an hour of the 3.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe.
At least I think the second half. I think
but...
I like the second half a lot more. I like the second half of the game a lot more.
That's weird because I think I like the first half better.
I think it's all over the place. I found cool levels like surrounded by
uneven. It is uneven,
very uneven. And so I don't want to sit in a sandbox.
The turtles, yeah, I see the level with like the turtles, where you like have to figure out how to get across, and you have to use those two.
Or whatever.
You have to use those 2 turtles that like just poop dirt. And like to me,
took me so long on stream last night.
Yeah, I mean, I just I don't know. I didn't think that was fun or interesting. Like it was just boring. Like I was very bored a lot of the time. But then there's also these things it does where I was like, wow, like this is really cool.
I think it does have like a magical quality when it's not being
right.
Tedious.
And
so I think it's hard because it's one of those things. To me, I would liken it to like a Criterion Collection movie, like an art house flick. Like it's kind of interesting. It's got its own magic to it, and there's something to draw you in. But at the same time, it might be kind of slow in certain parts, and it's like, it's not like a blockbuster entertaining film or anything. It's just sort of like, you sit through the parts that aren't that great, and you appreciate it at the end. But it's not like a movie you're going to go shout off the rooftops that you love. But I don't know. I liked it. Generally, I would say I generally liked it.
I mean, that's
think
the
it's
thing.
Maybe a little expensive. I think $20. $20 is. Kev, shut up! You're going too hard on this. This is not Immortal Legacy. This is it's a different thing.
I mean, I get that some people, if like, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I should have liked this game a lot more than I did. And I don't know if having lots of experience with Eric Chahi games. Like maybe I tried to keep that separate.
I have no experience. Yeah, I had never played any.
I tried to keep that separate because it's like that was kind of a problem too. Is like in terms of expectations and stuff. But I totally wanted to review this as itself and not let that interfere. But I think that might have interfered a little bit because I've seen Heart of Darkness had the graphics, the gameplay, the amazing level design, the game design, everything.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I've got a bunch of experience with Eric Chahi games, and this feels like an Eric Chahi game. But I mean, this isn't going to be a popular thing to say. But Out of This World or Another World back in the day, it wasn't very well designed either, right?
That's what I'm saying.
There were huge issues.
Why? So you have like auteurs, right? Mm-hmm. This guy is an auteur. He's not like a normal ass game designer.
Right.
People go to him. It's like a Jeff Minter thing. He does a certain fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it comes out a certain way. Like David Cage games are sort of love-hate games. I don't like David Cage games, but a lot of people love them. But it's like a very specific,
Sean?
It came from this guy.
Sean?
Yeah. Jason. It's Jason.
Jason?
Jason. Oh, so
press X to Jason.
That was the best.
I liked Heavy Rain.
Oh, I did too. I love Quantic Dream games, but that's totally beside the point.
I think he thinks he's way smarter than he is, but
yeah, I think so too. When he puts himself into a game,
this is like I'm saying that art house kind of thing, because you get these people who are like directors, like they have ideas. Like Kojima's like that too. Death Stranding's the same way, and I think it's one of those games. It's some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it. For me, I really had great experiences, but I also had tedious experiences. So I have just like a mixed response. Although there are scenes in it that really stuck out to me and were really cool. So I'm glad I played it. Really, at the end of the day,
I'm glad I played it too. And the thing
I'm very glad I played it. Yeah, that's the thing about it is I am glad.
We're calling it like an art house movie, right? But you know how many times I've been to the art house section of the movie theater and seen a really good movie, but more often than not, I go to the art house section and see a really bad movie, right? Just because it's independent, just because it's artistic, just because it's an art house style thing, doesn't automatically make it good. And I think that's
but there's also that kind of category of things where you see it and you're like, I'm glad I saw that, but I'm not going to go watch it again anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's where this hits. It's in that sort of like, it was a good experience in the overall. There was enough interesting stuff going on that I am glad that I tried it out and can have an opinion on it. Because some of the mechanics were really cool. Like Joe's saying, melting the ice to turn it into water was really cool. That is awesome. It feels great. It looks great. And just the mechanics of it sort of becoming like, I don't know. There's a lot of little moments in it that are, I think, great.
It's just not explored fully. I have a problem with it being not explored fully.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
You know, they set up this great thing. I think the worlds don't look as good as people are saying they look, and I think it's the worlds. They obviously, I gave it the worlds a pass because they're so malleable, right? You can build, you can terraform, you can build up walls, you can tear them down, you can melt ice, you can do all this stuff. But even that's not explored fully in a lot of the levels. They give you these opportunities to do things sometimes.
It kind of feels like a collection of, the Mario level where they introduce a new mechanic and then all the levels afterwards are way more difficult ways to use that mechanic. Mm-hmm. It's like they just have the part where you learn the mechanic and then they move on to a different mechanic, but you're not like combining them all together very often in a way where it's like, or they don't like escalate the complexity of, say, this one mechanic and let's crank it up and make it, more of a puzzle. It just sort of moves from one to the next. But I think he kind of wanted it to be more experiential, honestly. I don't think this was intended to be a game like that. So
I do wish I just wish it had better puzzle design.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Todd Guyo with the $5 donation says for the help with Paper Beast at Brian Paul LOL. Also, I love you all guys. Even AJ, even though he's a Prentice slacker, dude. 6, 7, 8, 3 days.
One in the world
3 days until we're gonna be streaming Preda. And that's going to be awesome.
Guys, here's some inside
his birthday.
Here's some inside baseball for you. Todd Guillo was literally while we were talking about the level that AJ and I both hated in Paper Beast.
He came in and said he was stuck.
He sent me a direct message on Facebook, literally at the exact moment we were talking about it, and he said, "Dude, you got to help me out. I've been stuck on this one puzzle in Paper Beast for an hour. It's the one with the big sand pile." We were talking. As we were talking about it. So I was like, dude, get in fucking Gamescast Live. We're talking about that shit right now. So that was impeccably timed, Todd.
Yeah, just chuck the dirt at the wall. Just keep throwing the dirt.
Yeah.
And if it's not working, just slam it down.
Yeah.
Listen, that's going to really smash it.
I do want to make one thing very clear, and that's that I'm just one person, right? Like AJ's just one person, Dave's just one person. We all have opinions about things. We're never all going to agree about something all the time. So I put out my review, and here I am like jumping up and down, being like, "Oh, it's a fucking not a good art house movie," right? I'm saying like all sorts of weird shit. That's my opinion. Like I'm not saying that anybody has to agree with me, or that or that your opinion is not just as valid. I wish I could take Macon artists review and publish it on Without Parole to have like as many GameCats perspectives as possible, because I think something doesn't make it right. I want you guys to always remember that. I don't think I'm like some kind of like amazing reviewer where I know what's right and you guys don't. So I respect everybody's opinion out there.
I think
for sure.
This one is specifically one of those games that you gotta rate. Like for me, this would be like a 7.5 because it's up to taste entirely. Like there are game design issues, but if you're into this, if you like it, people in the chat even are still like Joe Grover is saying it's magical, it's beautiful, he fucking loved it. If it hits you the certain way, you are going to be into it, and if it doesn't, you're going to say fuck this game. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what review scores around 7 or 4, where it's like if this is your thing, get it. If it's not your thing,
I don't know about that because the thing is, this game is my thing, and I didn't really like it that much.
Yeah,
so
kind of the same.
That's the problem I have. Still, this game should be my thing.
It's just
which is why it's just below, and just opinions, just below 7 for me, because this is everything I should like in a game. It just didn't. It didn't like wow me at all. Like it's got impressive features.
I really liked it.
I know. I feel like it should have wowed me, but it just didn't. Maybe I'm just played too much stuff now where it's not that easy for me to be wowed, but I don't know, man. I really tried, and I gave it gave it as best as I could. But
this was a painful review for me to write and to edit and to
Yeah.
put together. In fact, I was so unhappy with my review when it was all done that because I didn't feel like I explained myself very well, and I was so upset about having to give it like a bad score that I pushed it out the door, and I was like, I just can't torture myself anymore with this review, because it was physically painful to work on it. I was like, because I felt like I was just shitting on something that was very imaginative and very interesting and very different, and that's generally the things that I gravitate towards, and so it was difficult for me to put that review.
Let me tell you one last example, and then we need to move on to the next game. One last example I was thinking of, though, is like where you go. Oh wait, this might be spoilers for a different game, though. Shit. Well, okay, so let me just say that there's a part where you get into like this like hot air balloon. You use it to like move to the next section, and it's like it has you going up into the hot air balloon, and it's all like, oh, like it's supposed to be all magical, and you look outside and it's just like fucking dirt, like it's just bland sand, and I'm just like, what am
one
I
part in the game where it was good, that part where you go over the water feature, and there's like all these creatures you haven't seen before, like moving around and stuff. That was really cool, but for the most part, like you said, it's like you're just floating, and it's all super low res, super low poly, and you're just like, okay, that's sand. And then eventually it fades out. And like, for me, I was thinking this is where it's loading in the next section, right? But then it goes to essentially a loading screen before you get to the next section most of the time. Sometimes it just drops you off the ground because you crash or whatever. But
I do like to talk to him in the chat about toilet paper beasts, because the one my favorite one was the one that looked like a Muppet. That was just like a big
right?
You know,
well, there were
piece
two
of
of the
toilet
white
paper.
and black ones,
Right, and the vulture head thing. I liked interacting with some of them and stuff, but
yeah, they were really cool.
All right, so yeah, I mean, we've got reviews on this game. I might stream like the sandbox or something at some point. I did like this game. I just didn't love it. Let me put it that way. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Right,
I think as a game, I think it's just okay. But for all the other things it does, I think it does it really well.
We'll move on. I was gonna reiterate my point, but I think we're all pretty clear where I stand on it.
Yep. All right. So the next game we need to talk about just came out today in the EU, comes out in the NA tomorrow. This should be interesting. A-Tech Cybernetic by X-Real Games, developers that have also made Zero Caliber.
Zero Caliber. Okay.
They're making Zero Caliber as well, but they brought us this first. They already had this, and this game has great reviews on the PC side. We have all gotten to play this. I actually beat it last night on hard, because I feel like first-person shooters, they should be played. If they're good, they can be played on hard and stuff. And
I don't know if they should be played on hard. They should be played on normal, because that's the way the game was designed.
Okay,
hard is like if you want more challenge after you've beaten the game.
Right. I guess. Yeah. Maybe. I guess. But
I'm going to go with that.
I used to play first-person shooters on easy. That's a fact. Easy. Actually, it was like 1 or 2. I think it was like
AJ
Crisis.
of days past.
Yes, long time ago for sure. It was like Crisis. But then I eventually started playing these on hard, and I was like, these games just feel like they're meant to play on hard. Like if you're in real life, you don't want to get shot. Like if you're in a shootout, you get shot once, that's it.
I hate real life, AJ. Not interested in being a shootout in real life. That's
true.
For sure.
That's true. Okay.
My health doesn't regenerate that quickly in real life.
So this game, it does look and feel in a lot of ways kind of like a mix between Doom and Arizona Sunshine and Killing Floor Incursion
and Contagion
and Contagion all mixed together.
Not as good as any of those games, but
I will say I think it's better than Contagion.
Okay, Contagion is the one that I can say it's probably better than.
Yeah. Rough around the edges. Let's just get that out of the way. It is.
So Bryan and I have a disagreement on this game.
Oh, I'm probably going to disagree with one of you too, because I don't know what you guys think, but I have a
I think this game has a lot of bugs.
Oh yeah.
And I think it has like definitely some rough edges.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I still really liked it.
I don't know why you liked it.
I think you really like it.
I don't know what's charming about this game. like to me,
I'd say
okay,
it's
I'll let you
charming.
guys talk more.
Oh, I don't think it's charming.
I don't know if I liked it, but
8.5 says me, the VR dude.
Whoa.
8.5.
Not on PSVR.
No.
He's got to be talking about Paper Beast still. He's not.
I mean, it's only
maybe.
Yeah,
I hope he's talking about this, so I can just fucking tear into him again.
It's only got a 70% on Steam. You know what my favorite thing is on their Steam page? They have these reviews, right? And one of them is from IGN Hungary. IGN Hungary, guys. And it says, ATEC Cybernetic is the perfect choice for the lovers of this genre.
Okay.
Interesting. Say, thanks, IGN Hungary. That's one of the top reviews on this game. But I don't know.
I'm going to tell AJ why he really likes this game, because I like this game. I don't really like it. And I mean, okay. I played through the entire thing and I beat it, and like might even be strong. I certainly tolerated part of this game, but I liked a lot of it.
I tolerated some of it too.
Here's why you really liked ATEC Cybernetic, AJ, is because we just don't have enough first-person shooters on PlayStation VR. There's just not enough of them. We've played them all. We loved a lot of them, and we're dying for more. It should be a genre we're flooded with, that we're drowning in, and instead we get one every fucking 6 months, and it's like we were just dying for this so much that you're looking for anything you can get, and because this is fucking rough, really rough.
It's rough. It doesn't look as good, unfortunately, as what the trailers and stuff show.
I mean, really, like, the enemies don't look good. And when they don't look terrible, but their motions are very strange. Because they'll walk very slowly, and then as soon as they get next to you, they go like this, and it's just weird. It's fucking strange. I don't know why they move like that. Like, if they can move fast, why don't they just move fast? But the other thing is they just disappear when you shoot them, which is so unsatisfying. That's
probably one of the biggest things about this game.
So frustrating.
Is
they
that
when you shoot them, and when you shoot them, they just whoosh out of existence.
They also zap into existence too, which sometimes they do that exactly where you're standing.
The part where I stopped right before this really pissed me off, because there was this like stupid little dialogue bit, and there was a bad guy who was like, ha 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 ha, have fun with my minions, or whatever. And then he spawned like 6 guys directly surrounding me. Right. And I was just getting wowed by all these dumbass zombies. And it wasn't like, so here's the thing. The game is not structured for a good difficulty curve. Like, either the zombie is standing there going like this, and you just sit there and go boom, 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 boom. Or they put a shitload of them right on you, so you can't actually react fast enough. But it's not because, like, there is a cool sense of difficulty. It's just like, this feels spammy. It feels like these guys are just spawned on me out of nowhere to make it like, ah!
That's where most of my difficulty came from.
The combat is not fun to me, because the difficulty is not because you're encountering a difficult challenge. It's because the game decided to do something stupid and give you, like, a bunch of guys popping in out of nowhere all of a sudden, when you've just been looking around in exactly copied. The first stage is just a bunch of the same room copied like 30 times. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It's just these corridors, and you go into the room, same room as the last room you went into, scan for ammo. Oh, look, a little thing to read. Cool. They made fun of Call of Duty. That's cool. You move along. But the exploration wasn't satisfying because it was very samey.
Whoa, hold on. Exploration-wise, there was something that Bryan and I were talking about that we actually really appreciated, and that's if you look around, you actually find something, and that's usually in the form of ammo or health.
Or even a story segment.
And like it is everywhere, though.
But the only reason, so if you can only justify your environment so you want me to explore all these rooms, right? They're all the same goddamn room in a hallway that looks the same as the hallway I just came out of, with the same damn rooms in it. And you want me to look around at them, and I get a little, cool piece of candy because it's an ammo pickup. But that's not fun gameplay. That's just like, let me look in this room. Oh, I got a little something. Let me look in the same room as this room. Okay, I got a little something.
Okay, you got to remember too, though, because the environments and stuff do change up.
if they get better, that's fine.
That's going to be the deciding factor here, because I thought the game got a lot better later on, and Bryan didn't.
Yeah,
did you like it at the beginning? Did you like it at the beginning?
By the beginning, I wasn't very hot on it. No,
I think
I wasn't too crazy about it.
The first impressions that I have, and I'll play more of it. I might stream it later or tomorrow. But it wasn't satisfying. Nothing about it was satisfying to me. It is a first-person shooter, but the gunplay doesn't feel good. The enemies just disappear out of nowhere. There is not really puzzling to speak of that I've seen so far. Yeah. It's just kind of like...
No, there's not really puzzles, no.
It looks okay. It looks fine. Like, the environments look okay, but it is a lot of repeated stuff over and over and over again. Like,
I think
at least in the intro is just look in this room.
I do think you'll get over that as you play more.
Okay.
Because
maybe next week I'll be singing a different tune. I don't know.
I mean, from that perspective, I think you might, because I actually thought that is it the space station or a ship that you're on, whatever the fuck it is at the beginning. I thought it looked pretty good, and I didn't mind the repeated rooms because a lot of the rooms had different things going on in them. I was like, yeah, these are just like, barracks and stuff for the crew.
In a corner. Yeah, no, I understand. Like, it makes sense if it's barracks, but
right, like the Persistence did pretty much the same thing. But I mean, obviously, the Persistence looks better. Don't get me wrong.
Much better. The Persistence is way better than this. If you think this game looks good, just buy the Persistence instead. If you don't have it, that's what I would say.
I mean, it's dramatically different game, but yeah.
But the Persistence is just a way better version of what this kind of is, anyways, right?
I mean, Persistence is a lot of stealthy sneaking around and like has better gameplay mechanics.
This is more action,
like shooting.
It's not action; it's just dumb shooting, I think.
Well, I will say that gets worse the further you get in the game. There are points where because there were points where I just stood in one place, had my guns out, shooting people, and they would just keep spawning. And as I shoot them, spawn, shooting, spawn, shooting, spawn, shooting, spawn. It's like 30 guys just like, like, this is boring. All it's doing is just like, all they're trying to do is deplete my ammo, because there's no way these guys are even able to like hurt me from this distance. There's like one enemy that can actually like shoot you, and you just take those guys down first. The combat is extremely unsatisfying, and it's just an ammo. All you're doing is depleting your ammo every single time you get into one of these situations, and then as soon as that's over, you go, well, let me go explore and find more ammo. See, that's the thing.
See, Lipnox88 says, I love dumb shooting. And that's the thing.
I want to say, what Bryan just said is exactly how I felt in the first mission, and if he felt that way the whole way through...
It gets worse.
I think that's
I have a feeling that you're probably going to be on Bryan's side on this one. But it's the same reason that people really love like Arizona Sunshine, because you just kind of just wander around and shoot stuff.
Arizona Sunshine is leagues better than this game, I think.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go with that too.
I don't even like Arizona Sunshine that much.
Yeah.
I appreciated little things that this game did in terms of like gameplay. Like, I actually liked the gameplay. I started getting creative.
What were the gameplay things that this game?
About the gameplay? Tell me about it. What did you like?
So again, I played it on hard, so I can only take a few hits and then I would die. So there would be these sections where there would be these sections where if I just tried to just pick up and start shooting stuff, like I would get killed pretty easily. So there were certain parts that I would get stuck at to where it took me a couple attempts. By the way, I beat this game in 5.5 hours, something like that.
About the same place, 5 hours.
And there was just parts where I would die, and the checkpoint system is very good, which kept a lot of my frustration away, because like there would be a critical part I'd finish, and then I would get killed, and then I'd start from right there again. So I was happy about it. But there were certain things that like I would have to build a strategy of who I'm going to take out first, where I'm going to move around in the room, and like how I'm going to approach certain things, and which weapons I'm going to use first and second and third.
You spent a lot of time being way more tactical than this game has any right for you.
I probably was,
because here's the answer to all the questions you just posed. All you have to do is stand next to a wall, look, peek behind it, pick whatever weapon you have the most ammo with, and just lay into them.
Well, I ran into lots of times
shoot
where
the guys
I
with the
would run
guns
out of
first,
ammo,
and the
though.
strategy complete. Like, I mean, it is insane. I'm assuming. I mean,
But so if you said you run out of ammo sometimes, that goes to Brian's point where the difficulty is not even about it being difficult, and necessarily it's about you just running out of ammo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And
Well, I
guess
was kind of wasteful with it, though. I mean, I was holding two shotguns and shooting like at the same time just to make sure.
I was very
like,
seldom
killed them and
dual
stuff.
wielding. Because
I think
one hand for me was always doing the teleport or the telekinesis, like, you know, pick up items around,
right?
Or I was holding a flashlight, or I was doing something. I was very, very seldom dual wielding, and you know, it didn't present much of a problem. And I was very, very careful about my ammo conservation, and I didn't ever really run into an issue. But it was just annoying to stand there and just see my ammo go as I just see more and more and more. I hate monster closets. This is what I should say. I hate monster closets. Games that just
was there monster closets in this?
No, that's even fucking worse, because monster closets, for anybody who doesn't know, is a developer term where you have like this door, right, and where monsters just kind of keep coming out of, right? They didn't exist before that room, before that little closet. That's just where they're coming out of to make it seem more realistic. This game says, fuck even doing that generic thing. We're just going to spawn them directly in front of you over and over and over and over, instead of being like creative about it.
Well, if
they
you
just
run
say, here's more enemies. Oh, you killed those? Here's more. Oh, you want more?
sprint to
Here's
the
more.
middle of the
Here you
room.
go. Keeping them coming. It's fucking ridiculous, and it just screams lazy to me. And I loved a lot of things in this game. Like, I actually had some fun, and especially at the beginning, man, I just loved the Dead Space kind of environment where like something went horribly wrong on the ship, and there's like sacrificial rituals happening in different rooms. And it's like, what the fuck? There's blood on the walls. The shit's gone down. I loved that, and then it just went fucking off a cliff.
I think the enemies are kind of boring too.
Oh, they're so boring. Oh,
I didn't mind the enemies. There's more
copy-paste, and they're just like,
there actually is a nice variety, though. They do kind of like expand on them a little
there's
bit.
6, and they don't get better.
Yeah, I mean, then you got like ones where they catch on fire or something. They come and they try to touch you, and if you catch you on fire, you got to like shake your move controllers to get off fire and stuff. But I think this is grouped
I think
closer.
Seems like it's just cheap. Like Brian said, they just pop in a bunch of people on you out of nowhere, and that's why it's hard. Not because any enemy is like a good AI that is challenging.
Well, I didn't run directly into the middle of rooms and stuff, so that I had kind of a different experience like that. Because if you did that,
I did not ever run directly into the middle of a room ever. Because there are guys in the corner. Because there are guys who will shoot you. They've got this shotgun in like 1 or 2 shots, boom, done. And so I never ran directly into a room.
No, but there was one room where you have to survive, and you have to survive 3 minutes, and they spawn from everywhere.
Yeah.
That was the time where one dude spawned behind me at one point and killed me. Other than that, nobody ever spawned like behind me or anything, or like spawned like directly onto me. It was the other. Okay, no, I'm sorry. There was one more time, but that was the time that I ran out into the room like a dum-dum, and that's what I mean by that. Like
you ran out into the room, and the game didn't even realize where you were standing, and just decided to. That's again lazy. It's like
I ran into it. It did seem like it was a little lagged, but I would definitely group this game into more of Contagion territory.
It's Contagion territory for sure.
It's definitely more. But I will say though, I got really used to the controls and got really good at it.
Yeah, same.
And I was having a lot of fun when I did that. Like stuff couldn't touch me, and I felt like a complete badass in some parts of this game.
Yeah.
Like I really, really enjoyed some of it for sure. And to me, I mean, it does Doom, Killing Floor, all those way more polished, way better designed, way better AI. Everything
and even
better.
Just walking
physics.
Around in this, I was running into invisible walls constantly. I'd have to use a teleport to get out of places I was stuck all the time.
There were definitely some things, but I will say, I still appreciated some of the little things this game did, like it actually having full smooth locomotion, smooth turning, stuff like that, and it has strafe buttons, which I think for a dual wielding game,
they're in the worst place though. They're above the walk button. So
yeah, it's not.
What you but they strafe? No, you can. Actually, I was actually doing that.
I was using two parts of my thumb to walk and strafe at the same time. I was like, I had to hit the move button and the strafe button that are directly in this. This isn't how
there was a couple parts where I was pressing the move and the strafe at the same time, and I was having a blast with that. No, the turn buttons are on the different hand.
Yeah,
the strafe button is on the same. And to me, I mean, when you press the strafe button, you're moving left, so you don't have to press that and the move button unless you want to move it diagonally,
right.
Which I still was able to do. But it also has the one of the buttons is to back up, and those kind of buttons are crucial for me for gameplay. It's the biggest complaint I have about Doom VFR with the moves is that there's no turn buttons. There's like literally like a scoot forward button. Like, what the hell is that? That is garbage. There's teleport only, and then there's like a scoot forward, scoot left, scoot right, scoot back. That is shit.
Or an aim.
Yeah,
unless you're crazy. Brian's
I'm not sure me, because the move controls are the best way to play Doom VFR. But back to
people in the chat said that too. People in the chat also.
See, people are coming around, man. People finally understand how good it is.
I dropped out. Yeah,
a lot of people said PS4.
Yeah, you got to get good, AJ. Got to get good. He's like, I can't play it on hard. I play everything on hard. I can't play Doom on hard. I'm not good at it, dog. I'm not good at it.
I beat it. I just didn't enjoy it.
I do heckling now. Calm down.
The coffee's kicking in. Finally, I'm finally awake. So I do want to say something about my stream of ATEX Cybernetic. Eventually, I'm going to take it down. After I put the review up, I'm going to take the stream down, because when you have people talking in the chat, and that's all you're hearing, I didn't hear some essential things in the game. So there was a point where the game actually tells you, just rest your hand on the console. And I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes, like trying to grab the handles, trying to push buttons. How come I can't do anything? What's going on here? How come it's not working?
You gotta listen during those times.
I gotta listen, man. And so apologies to for anyone who was watching that either realized that I was being a dumbass or whatever. But that was
that feeling when you're on stream and you realize later you were just being a dumbass.
That's the tough part about doing first impression videos. Like,
yeah,
like a lot. I love to jump into games and have a minute to check them out and make sure I understand all the controls before I start streaming. But sometimes there's just no time. Like, more often than not, there's no time. I have zero time around here. So I'll probably take that stream down, because I don't want people thinking that the controls are even more convoluted than they are.
All right, so
leave it up. You should probably leave it up.
Yeah, might as well. I don't know. I'm gonna probably stream this game on hard again and play through it again and have some fun with it. I think it's a janky, buggy game.
Yeah.
But
it's like a
budget
6.5
game.
for me.
But
it's fun sometimes, but it's got too many issues to really recommend.
It's hard to recommend this game.
I didn't find it fun. I just didn't have fun at all.
There was a lot of parts in this game that I did have fun with.
Was it after the first 1 or 2 chapters? Because like the beginning of the game is not fun. I'm not having fun.
I had fun. Yeah, I had fun like after like the first 2 chapters or something. Plus the level. Brian, you didn't like the level design later on? Like the way they look different and stuff?
It gets worse by the minute.
I thought it looked better.
There's this bell curve, Dave. There's this bell curve, right, that happens soon after the game starts for me, where I was like, "Ooh, this is getting good. I really like this. I really get this." And then, like, about an hour and a half in, I was like, and for the next 3.5 hours, I'm like, "Oh, this got actually worse as it went." Yeah. Some of the,
I thought the levels,
especially the last stage specifically, was just such a big fuck you to every gamer out there. It's like, you know what? Go here. Oh, you got it wrong. Fuck you. Got it wrong. Kill these enemies again. Fuck you. Kill these enemies again. Fuck you. Kill these enemies again.
Did you not figure out what it was? How to get past it?
I mean, did you ever
figure it out?
I beat the game. Yeah, of course. But man, it was like such a
trial.
But
did you understand? No, but did you just go into one and then go into the other each time, or did you actually see?
I looked around and was like, oh, okay, this blue portal will bring me down to that blue portal. Walked into the blue portal, and it brought me back to the fucking beginning. And I was like, fuck you, game. because you guys are fucking. There's no common sense here, and so yeah. So I figured out that they said "fuck you, Brian," and I said "fuck you" right back. That's how that went.
All right. Okay. So we have. Yeah. I don't know. This game.
For a second, I gotta be right back.
I almost want to be like, if you liked Immortal Legacy,
No.
this game.
No. Okay. I am banning you from this channel if you compare these two games. Absolutely not. Immortal Legacy is infinitely more polished than this game. That is.
Immortal Legacy is really polished, and it's funny how many people say that it's not polished. That's funny.
Yeah. No, I mean, play this game and then tell me that Immortal Legacy is not polished. Like, this is just walking around feels janky. At least walking around the Immortal Legacy.
But I feel like this is the same kind of game. Maybe Contagion's more like it, but
that more like Contagion. If you could.
But it's more action. It's a lot more action, and I'll tell you one thing, a couple things I really liked real quick before we move on to the next one.
Right.
The guns, the details of the guns looked awesome. There's a nice variety of guns as well. I did actually like in the horde or the swarm mode. I did like using the bow for some reason because it explodes. So like I said, having the strafe left and right and the backup button is crucial for anything you want to do with two hands. So I was able to back up and turn or strafe or whatever. I was able to move basically while shooting the bow. And I know people don't like that control scheme. They usually like the press the move button and point in any direction, but you can't fire a bow aiming pressing the move button and then pointing it in a direction like sideways or something. You can't do that and fire a bow, which is why I like strafe buttons.
AJ, here's what I say. This might be a hot take, but I'm so fucking tired of bows and arrows in VR games.
Don't worry, it's not in the actual game. You play
it's actually not
in the actual game. You play with a bow and arrow for like literally a minute, and I was like, why did
you do
even
it for like a
include
puzzle?
this? It's not even a puzzle. It's like shoot this, shoot that, shoot that. Done.
Yeah.
Why would he even consider outside of the puzzle using a bow and arrow if he's got machine guns and fucking pistols?
It doesn't exist. It doesn't even exist outside of that puzzle.
Well, they explode at least.
Well, that's good because here's the thing. I didn't like the bow and arrow mechanics in the tutorial, and that makes me think I won't like them in the real game.
I couldn't figure out why it was in the tutorial.
Accurate.
Yeah. All right, guys. We don't want to.
We do. I want. Hey, one more thing.
Okay, one more thing.
The melee combat in A-Tech is garbage.
Stupid.
Yeah,
terrible.
Terrible.
I will say though, if you slow down time, the melee is actually pretty hilarious. You actually get to see that ragdoll effect, because I don't know. I've got some crazy funny footage of.
Can we talk about bullet time?
Hold on.
No, let's not talk about bullet time.
We're talking about bullet time.
Which one are we doing?
We don't. Look, this is going to be a 3-hour thing. We need to move on.
Todd gave us a $2 donation and said, because nobody tipped since my last one. Pitch in, people. Thank you, Todd, so much for that. Okay, then Joe said, fine, Todd.
All right.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on to the room because this is going to be a 3-hour show at least.
Okay, hold on. Real quick.
You already said one more thing ago.
This is my show. Leave it alone. So they teach you, you look at the control scheme, and they give you a button for bullet time, right? You can't access bullet time in the game. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's for Swarm.
It's for Swarm. It's for the 15-minute
It's for the timer.
It's not for the 5-hour campaign.
We didn't even talk about Swarm mode, where it's basically set up. It's basically, it looks like Killing Floor Incursion, where there's like an arena you choose. There's guns all over the walls, but they're locked out until you get some kills. It starts you out with the pistol, then you get the pistol, you get some kills with the pistol, then it unlocks a shotgun, and then it unlocks it just keeps unlocking the better and better weapons the further you get, and it also gets harder. It's kind of like, this is an insult to Call of Duty, but it's kind of like Call of Duty Zombies, but it's not as even close to as good. It's not even as close as good as Call of Duty Zombies, because the Call of Duty Zombies I played a lot of, probably more than Call of Duty itself, and it was good. I mean, there was different levels you'd go to, different sections, stuff like that. It's not the same.
Okay. Brian, what was the game when you were playing it on stream? Somebody said, "Is this better than that game that we all laugh at?" Ha ha ha. the first-person shooter. It was kind of a janky. Do you know the one I'm talking about? It was during your stream. Somebody said, "Is this better than?"
Oh, I always think it's Dark Eclipse. It's
Dark Eclipse. Dark Eclipse. I played this.
Dark
The
Eclipse?
first stage.
no, Dark Eclipse is the
Dark Legion.
Dark Legion.
That's I always get it
Legion,
wrong. Yeah, Dark Legion.
Dark Legion.
Yeah,
I liked Dark Legion way better.
the
Than this
combat in Dark Legion is better than this.
game. Is way fucking better.
Yeah,
Way better.
$10.
It's just yes. It's cheaper. It's just better.
Okay. I'm totally
So
on board
that's
to
my
move on when
review.
you guys are.
Cybernetic. Killing
I
Floor.
tried.
A-Tech
I
was
tried.
better. Killing Floor is way better. Killing Floor.
Yeah,
just get killing.
Killing Floor is better, but
The
But
only
actually,
problem with
but I actually was
Floor is-
compelled to finish this game, and I wasn't compelled to finish it. Killing Floor.
I hate
What
the
is
narrative in
wrong
this
with
game.
you, AJ?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hold on. We didn't even talk about the fucking voice actor.
Yeah, it's terrible, awful,
I
so
hate it.
annoying.
Oh my god,
Ruins
I hate
any
it.
type of
hate it.
atmosphere that the game had.
So bad, and it's constant.
All right,
That's
let's move on to a game. Can we need to move on. We will have reviews out. Watch the review and then make your decision.
Don't talk over me, AJ. Damn it. Eric and also had like a really terrible narrator. I thought I hated
what
that.
did?
Fucking
I didn't
narrator.
mind the narrator in this. It was better than Immortal Legacy. And there's actually a story that closes unlike Immortal Legacy. It actually
Yeah,
starts with
narrator
the
was
character and story and then ends with a thing. I thought the narrator was fine. You guys are just being nitpicking at this point.
Nitpicking.
It was
It
very
ruined every minute.
It
of
didn't
enjoyment.
ruin shit.
Yeah.
It did the narrator ruined this
Bad.
game for you.
Really
huh?
bad. One of the many things.
Old guy.
No,
Man.
you guys are going you're going too
guys
far with this. You're just nitpicking at this
I'm
point.
saying it's a 6.5, and I hate all these things. So it's,
I know it-
6.5, you give this game a higher than Paper Beast?
yeah,
5.
I'd rather play this than Paper Beast. Yeah, I tell you, it's just Paper Beast wasn't my thing.
So weird.
I wanted to love it.
All right.
I didn't.
Anyway,
This is
no,
way better than this.
yeah, I think Paper Beast
God?
is better. But, all right, so finally, okay, let's talk about a game. Okay, hold on. First, let's give a shout out to Robbie B, the English Game Cat, with the 2 donations. The Samurai Awakens for the win. You are a bad person, Robbie B.
Samurai Awakens. Terrible game.
Yeah, Reborn Samurai. No, it is better. I will say
Here we go. Joe Grover again.
that is Joe Grover with
You
the
guys are
$5.
going off. I friggin' love.
I'm
Dude,
really happy. I'm really happy you
I
love it.
told you. No, I could fight with these two all day about this,
Yeah.
but you got people got shit to do, so I don't want to do that. And we got another game to talk about. This game, guys, The Room VR, A Dark Matter, is amazing.
Can we talk about how bad that voice actor was?
No, on what? On what? What are you talking about? A-Tech was fun.
Good.
Is
When we can all
very, very good. Yeah.
This
This is, by the way, my big winner of the week is The Room.
Is this a new
for everyone
segment you're
just-
doing? Did you not tell me you're doing a new segment called AJ's Big Winner of the Week?
big winner of the week.
I've been doing this for since I've started doing these
You didn't
episodes.
fill out the
guys.
form.
Where have you been?
There's an application you need to fill out. You need to fill
You
out
just
the form.
don't listen when I say it.
This is true. AJ and I are
no,
on the phone
this-
for hours sometimes. I have no idea what we talk about.
No, this is my big winner of the week is A Room VR Dark Matter. It is, guys, I do not like puzzle games. This puzzle game had me it's actually more of an escape room, right?
I love that you say you don't like puzzle games every single time you talk about a puzzle game you like.
Yeah, like Zingo Langion, like one of my
No,
favorite
I
fucking
look.
games.
I
think you
don't
like
like
puzzle,
puzzle
games.
games.
Transpose?
AJ, listen,
Zing.
You like puzzle games.
we're having
It's an intervention.
I think
Yeah,
I do
dude.
like puzzle games now because there's games like The Room VR or Dark Matter. I now like escape room games too because I didn't like escape room games either.
Yep. This is an intervention. As it turns out, AJ,
And here's the thing:
you have a problem.
if there's anybody out there like me who loves Egyptian stuff, like ancient Egypt,
Yes,
like this sort of thing, do the.
I like
do
how
the-
Dave always jumps to 5 miles ahead of what we're talking. People don't even know what this game is yet.
Yeah, sure they do.
Okay,
They
well,
watch
that's
your
fine.
channel.
They'll figure it out. Okay, it's like a puzzle game. It's an escape room. You already said escape room, so they know. They were listening. They're
Yeah,
catching it.
okay. All right.
They listen to
maybe
you way more than we do.
But you're investigating this guy who was like an Egyptian scientist, whatever, and he gets into some crazy shit. And this game is really, really polished. It looks beautiful, by the way. Like it looks incredible. I don't know.
Presentation
you guys go ahead.
of this game.
The last shot that I took. Maybe you guys should go first.
I'll let Brian take it home, but I just got to say the atmosphere of this game is it starts you out in like this. It's got this eerie atmosphere, and the graphics are really good. The presentation is really good. These rooms that you have to get out of, I mean, they connect so many different puzzles, string together so many different puzzles. And when I say like these puzzles are really good, like they are really good. And I get why this is a really popular mobile game now, because it's I don't know, it's like the puzzles, the atmosphere, the cinematic feel to it, the story, it does all these things really, really well, and it's a beautiful game. And like it has these very tactile gameplay like puzzles, where it's just incredible, man. This game is something special for real. This is really good.
I mean, as soon as I booted it up, I was like, this is quality product. You can tell sometimes, you just like, as soon as it starts, even though it's click, turning, and teleport, people will be like, it's a deal breaker. But in a game like this, it is more like, we talked about point and click adventures earlier, and it is more like that, where you go to a certain area.
It's designed better for it.
It's feels designed for it. Yeah. And it's just, that also lets you get that level of graphical quality, because the game looks really goddamn good. Right. Everything looks beautiful in this game. And like I said, really if you're into the sort of, style of Egyptian kind of stuff, at least the beginning is like that. I don't know how it goes later in the game because I've only played the first 2 stages, but it scratched a little itch that I really liked. I really enjoyed it from what I played so far. And the puzzles are not too difficult, but you'll be like, oh, I should have got that 2 minutes ago. Okay, here it is. And you figure it out. What, with the beep?
Is your burrito done?
About the beep?
Is your burrito done?
No, I'm gonna put enchiladas in when we're done.
Ooh, enchiladas.
Enchiladas.
You brought enough for the whole class.
Just a little frozen Amy's enchiladas.
I know some people. So this game took me about between 5 and 5.5 hours to beat. But it's just, it has this thing. I think one thing I really liked about your review, Brian, was that you mentioned like Indiana Jones.
Yes.
And I was thinking to myself, this feels like I'm a character in a movie. Like it has the excitement. I know a lot of people like Doctor Who, but this is kind of what I was hoping Doctor Who was going to be. Personally, I still need to finish Doctor Who, so maybe I haven't seen everything it has to offer yet. But I felt like this had a great like I was a character in a movie, and it was just I don't know, just everything I did in this game was just like wow, like oh my god, and not many games can do that to me very much anymore.
That's the thing that kind of makes me. I know it's a much different game, but the Exorcist VR, despite the bugs or whatever, I feel like I got a similar feeling of atmosphere and like very high quality of production. Like this is a very good, well-made game.
The music, the sound design,
exactly. Like it's at that level. Like if you guys played The Exorcist, it's very polished graphically and whatever. I just think this really caught me as soon as I started playing it.
Right, and it does that pretty much all the way to the end.
Right,
and you get all these like, not to spoil too much, but you get like these weird goggles that let you see like another realm.
That's like a room stable, so everyone should be familiar with that if you've ever played a room game.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that. But yeah, no, from what I've played so far, it's great. The puzzles are not too difficult, but they unfold in a certain way that feels natural. I guess.
I thought you were going to show a nipple.
No, I was just.
You were getting way down there.
I'm just scratching.
So
I'm just scratching.
Part of when I say I don't like puzzle games, I think part of it is because I believe I'm very bad at them. I don't think I'm very good at puzzle games. Like I see you guys and I see Jeremy solve puzzles in like 5 minutes that take me like 30 minutes. And it's why I don't try to stream puzzle games. A couple I did. I think I had fun with Zing and stuff, but I tried to use it as very little as possible. But I think another really great thing in this game is that there is like a hint system that's like tiered.
Yeah. Oh, I really like that a lot. Yeah, there's a timer. Right. You go into your inventory and you pull down a hint, and it says this hint's not available until the timer runs out.
Right.
And usually,
for people like me that are stupid, I need a hint. And but I try to use it as little as possible. That's why it still took me like 5.5 hours to beat. Because I use it just a couple times. And usually it was because there was an object that I didn't know I could interact with, or that I just like missed. And that was basically most of when I had to use it. I never had to use it when the puzzle was like right in front of me and I was trying to solve it.
Yeah. Anytime I start a new level, I said, I'm not going to use the hint system at all during this level. And if I was finally just like, I feel like I've tried everything. I've looked everywhere. I can't figure out how anything connects. I'd pull one and it would actually give me just enough, like that tiny little push in the right direction where I'd say, oh, Jesus, how did I not realize that this is what I was supposed to be doing right now? And then I don't want anything else. And I would say that I think I used one hint per level. And that was enough. If you can get through it without using them, I mean, you should really try your hardest, because the only problem I have with this game, I think, is that once it's over, it's over. So you should really enjoy it and really rack your brain as hard as you can, because there's really no reason to go back and play it again. There's no real replayability. There's no collectibles. There's nothing to find. There's no hidden trophies or anything like that. Not even a platinum trophy to go and try to get.
Click turning and the platinum no plat and no replayability is my only complaint, but to me, it doesn't matter. When it's 5.5 hours of this amazing, amazing experience, I'm like all 110% for that. I mean, it is a fantastic experience. Yeah. And I'd be really surprised.
The whole Indiana Jones thing, I was such a huge Indiana Jones. The Last Crusade was the first indie movie.
Oh my God. I fucking loved Indiana Jones as a kid.
Yeah,
that was my shit.
The Last Crusade was my first one too. I had to go back.
Did you ever learn how to use a whip? Because I definitely, as a child, learned how to use a whip while I was wearing an Indiana Jones hat.
No, Polish Paul in the house. What is up, Paul? My best friend ever. Screw both of you guys.
So we were having an Indiana Jones chat. I don't know who this Polish Paul guy is.
I love you.
But that is how I felt. You walk in and it's like all the rooms for the most part feel just ordinary. You walk in and you're like, oh, you're in a museum. Oh, you're in a police station. Oh, you're in a house.
I really liked the design of the rooms that I saw. I mean, I don't know, like
I love the design.
I
love the design,
cool.
but it
was so freaking cool.
But it's this element where there's secrets right in front of you in this very ordinary, very typical looking place. And so when you start like kind of digging and you start realizing that everything around you is a puzzle like that, and then you have these pages that you're discovering. There was such an Indiana Jones thing. I felt like Indiana Jones. I felt like I was looking for my kidnapped father who was kidnapped by the Nazis, and I had his Grail diary, and I was looking through and like trying to taking step by step, because what
that's the kind of puzzle game that's fun. It's like a mystery. It's like an adventure. It's like Uncharted without the jumping around and stuff. You
remember the part in Last Crusade when he's taking the pole and he's like slamming into the marble tile in the library. The library is a totally normal place, but it's hiding this huge secret, and that's this entire game. All these normal places are hiding enormous secrets, but they're all right in front of you. Like, I love that feeling.
I'm really excited to play more of this, because I was really into what I played so far, and I knew this was going to be good because they have a really good reputation for their mobile games.
Right.
But they've been doing them for so long that I feel like as a development team, they know what works.
Yeah.
Because these have remained popular for a long time. I remember like years and years ago when I got a smartphone, somebody's like, oh, get that game, The Room. It's really cool. You can play it on your phone. And like, it's probably like 6 years ago. I don't know. Anyways,
I've never played one, but I am tempted now to go and play. I don't ever play mobile games, but I kind of want to play these now.
They're good at what they do, man. And like, they brought it into VR so well. Click turning, as Kev says here, Todd, he's talking to Todd. He says, click turning fits this game. We need to evaluate it on a game by game basis. And that's true. I think in this game, click turning and teleport work fine. And
I don't like the click turning, but it didn't break anything for me. My score is right up there with Bryan's for this one.
Much really, like, I don't
know. But yeah, for something like, Paper Beast, like Robbie B saying, I teleport and click turning only. That's a game I wanted to slowly wander around in. This isn't like that. This is you go from puzzle to puzzle. This is basically taking the mobile game and then designing it for a VR 3D space and then making it as tactile and everything as possible still. Just the atmosphere, everything about this game, the special effects. This game has phenomenal special effects as well. It is just, like Brad Out of Hell said, I mean, it's essentially looking like, skip A-Tech for now, unless it gets patched. Get Paper Beast on sale and then buy this game. Like, wait for Paper Beast to go on sale.
Did we just marry, fuck, kill like 3 games this week? Is that what we just did? I think you just married, fuck, killed.
Hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. I would marry the room.
Yes, I would marry the room too.
Paper Beast, and I would kill A-Tech Cybernetic.
Dude, I think I'd fuck A-Tech Cybernetic, man. Like, that shit just seems intense.
Really?
I'd probably no.
I like it crazy. I like it a little crazy.
I probably, but I did like. I mean, I liked A-Tech Cybernetic way more than you guys. I think. It's still. Obvious. Yeah, I still can't recommend it to like anybody really, but unless there's just people that like the exact same games as I do, then yeah.
I thought I was in the same boat as you until today. Yeah. So let's tackle a little bit more of this click turning and no teleportation thing, because there's a part of me. I said even in my review I said
we're doing a 4-hour stream.
Wait. So, we got 5 minutes left. So
do we have a hard out somewhere?
No. If we're introducing new stuff,
no, but nobody's gonna watch a 3-hour stream.
It's already 3 hours.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I mean, I don't want to keep you guys.
What else? What did you want to go in depth on the click? I feel like there's so many better things to talk about in this game than the click turning and teleport.
It's too easy to dismiss this game and be like, oh, click turning and teleportation.
Yes, you should not do that. Do not. That would be a mistake. If you don't want to buy this game because it has click turning and teleportation stuff, no teleportation, do not do that. You are making a mistake.
Man, Mike Sparky the Game Cat Sparks in the chat, man. He's like pulling all of my heartstrings. Got Grim Fandango VR. We're talking about Indiana Jones VR. This would be great.
Yes.
What I want to say is, like, I definitely touched on this in my review, but like, if they gave us full locomotion, and trust me, I'm still kind of torn on this whole thing. If they gave us full locomotion, they gave us a body, they gave us a smooth turning, and they could just let us walk around these kind of beautiful environments, and just said, "Go solve the fucking room, man." There's a part of me that would be like, this is really cool, because now
I think I would get bored with it. I think I would get. All I want is smooth turning. I don't care about anything else. Just smooth turning. The no teleportation is fine. I would probably get so bored and lost with this game but it does have a hint system.
So that's kind of where I'm going with this, right? So like,
I don't think it makes a difference. There's no gameplay that the wandering around matters.
My question is if there's no reason to wander around, does that add to the difficulty when you go? Because in the church, there's a room where has these like kind of
and I think it would make it. I think it would be worse game design because it would be more frustrating. And this game,
it would be
one of the things I love about this game is like this game did not I didn't find this game frustrating at all. Like this game was a blast to play.
Yeah, it would be more frustrating, but I do think the hint system would get used more often. Because
but I don't want to use the hint system. I just want it's hard enough. Like dude, it was hard enough for me.
I'm in the same boat, right? That's why I'm torn on this. That's why I think this is an interesting conversation to have, because the environment.
What was the? Hold on.
We're talking about no teleportation and how irrelevant a lot of segments of the rooms are. Even though they look really cool, there's like entire bookshelves and entire tables that just have nothing to do with anything that you're not allowed to teleport to because they're irrelevant. If you were allowed to walk around and explore those, but still have the hint system to guide you, would it be better or wouldn't it be?
No, it's not. But it wouldn't be better.
I didn't think so either.
I'm totally torn. I'm right down the middle on this.
I understand, but if it was like an action game, or if there was like some action packed stuff that you'd have to do, of course, or like exploration kind of stuff. No, these rooms are small and they're beautiful, and everything you interact with has this amazing presentation to it. The presentation is godly in this game. Like that's one of my favorite things about it. And I think that has nothing to do with the gameplay. It's more just the puzzle solving, and the presentation, the atmosphere of this game just nails it.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Like 1,000%.
That's why, dude. I gave this.
1,000.
I gave. Okay, I'm like 500%. Then I'm like, so yeah, it's almost there. I give it a 9 out of 10. Like, if you guys were to give it a score, where would you be?
Well, I only played the first 2 stages, but I would still give it a 9 out of 10.
I would probably say I had it at a 9 out of 10. I still have to do my review, but spoiler alert, yeah, I also had a 9 out of 10. If anything, I would have made it an 8.9 because of no smooth turning, but
there was a part of me that almost made it an 8.9. I was
8.9 because of no smooth turning and no replayability. But it was so good. It was like I really wanted to keep it at a 9.
Yeah, no, it's so good, and it's one of those games where you play through it once and you have no reason to ever play through it again, except to show it to other people. And so I think a lot of people are going to go, oh, five hours for $30, no replayability. There's going to be a disconnect with that pricing structure, but the 5 hours were so good.
Yeah, Blood and Truth was like 4 or 5 hours, and it was $40. And it was like, do you regret buying Blood and Truth? No.
Like, however, there is replayability there. The different difficulties,
there is replayability in
hidden
Blood
objects,
That's
all
true.
sorts of things, hidden things to find. But yeah, anyway. So that's
it's polished, man. Boy Brown says 9 out of 10. Wow, yeah, this is a polished looking game.
Hey, go watch
it
the
has
review,
the graphics. It has the graphics. It has the presentation.
Kev has a good point. Why does every game need to be replayed?
Not every game. Well,
I'm just saying, as from a value proposition,
it's important. It is replayability is important in some games. Yeah, it's definitely not. When a game is like 5 hours and under, I think there's an argument that it can help $30 price tag by having replayability. Like even Paper Beast has that sandbox mode where if you like that, it adds value to the game basically.
Right.
But I don't care. Like don't play it in one day. Like don't play it across a couple days and you'll really enjoy it. But it's an amazing game.
Does it?
Joe Grover says, "How are the textures and clarity?" If you said I didn't hear it,
good. There's a couple parts that look.
They are very good with a capital V and a capital G because they are very good. It looks very good.
Amazing.
I'm going to put it a capital S because the capital S stands for a little bit a little bit of screen door effect for a game that's
really
I would say because I think
do you have your brightness up all the way? I didn't have any screen door effect, but I did have.
I didn't notice that at all.
No, but I keep my brightness at like 60-70%. And that takes away every game would have screen door.
I think mine's all the way down. Ever since I started having problems with my eyes, I put the brightness all the way down.
Oh, well, that's weird. I just noticed that in the beginning when you're at the police station and you're looking outside, I noticed like the textures were like maybe could be a little bit better, but it doesn't matter. Everything you're interacting with looks amazing. And all the rooms and stuff look amazing. And the special effects, you won't even care about the outside of the very beginning. Like, everything else looks really good.
Todd, I want to say to Todd, he asked if he could only buy one blind spot or this. I think the answer.
Oh God, the room.
Everybody said this. Yes, this.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
If you,
it's not
my answer is
blind
forget
spot.
blind spot exists.
No. Blind spot's good at what it does.
No, but this versus blind spot. Oh my God, not even close.
Yeah.
Like, and I like blind spot too, but no,
wait for a sale, blind spot. Wait for it to be $18. Buy this one right away.
Yeah. Blind spot needs to be like a $10, $15 game.
18. I just said it. Listen.
No, I heard you, but I still okay. Now that they added well, you said I don't know. Anyways,
they fixed
this
it.
game.
Chapter 3
this game
fixed. Everything's
all
fine
day.
Yeah.
So I would even say 20 for blind spot, but no, it is not. It is so forgettable.
Just sidebar. Did you notice? Have I gone green? Have I glitched out? Have I been?
No.
You know what's so weird? After the first time,
maybe a few times.
I haven't been able to see you guys, but my shit's running just fine now. So I don't know what kind of thing I happened into that it's working.
I'm just happy you figured out a solution.
Well, there's no solution. I just sat there while it was fucking up, and then I closed it and opened it again. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just don't turn it off, man. Just leave it running until next week.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyways, buy The Room. The Room is a very good game.
I think of all the games this week, like I said, The Room
should be. That's the should we for this week.
That is the one that everybody needs to be picking up. It is fantastic. It is so good.
Yeah.
I might play it again. I know it probably won't have the same effect, but I just want to be in that world again and just see everything.
Yeah, it feels really good. Like it's very well designed. It's just immediately.
I don't got that kind of time, unfortunately.
I will tell you that the police station, even though it's like a tutorial stage, I loved those original puzzles. I love the evidence locker. It was
you have to bring the thing and it pulls up. That's absolutely so cool.
And it was such
when I realized what the puzzle was. Like stared there for a minute. So basically, minor spoiler: you're trying to get this thing to crack a safe, but the guy who's the safe cracker.
Yeah, just don't spoil anything.
Maybe not spoil. Everyone's picking it up right now.
Hold on. It's not a spoiler. All I'm saying is it doesn't show what his code is to get to his evidence locker.
Right.
You have to figure it out from the stuff that's around it. And so it was clever. It was well done for like an introductory puzzle, I thought. And when it hit me, I was like, "Oh, that makes so much sense. I got it."
Right. It was like, a perfect introductory puzzle.
Yeah, some puzzles when you get them, you're like, "That's stupid. That pisses me off. That's frustrating."
Yeah.
But this is it seems like they're all pretty well designed and, doable.
The final thing I got to say that was my favorite thing about this is how it has that supernatural element to it.
Yes.
Like the supernatural thing. It's not a horror game. It's not scary, but it is eerie. It is very eerie.
It's eerie.
And the supernatural element of this game, just you wait, Dave.
No, not Siri. I said eerie.
It's
not Siri.
Oh, Siri. Alexa. Dave, you haven't even seen anything yet. Like there's like so much supernatural stuff in this game, and I think that's what makes the special effects really stand out.
That's what I really like too. The combination of Egypt and supernatural. I mean, it's a perfect thing because there's that whole King Tut curse or whatever, like, and there's all these things where like people will unearth a tomb and then suddenly all the people die mysteriously within like a month or something. There's all these cultural myths around Egyptian stuff, and so whenever it does go there, I really like it.
Imhotep.
It's really
Imhotep.
It's just so up my alley, man. Like it just like exactly what I want.
I think this is up everyone's alley, man. I think that's why they're so popular. I think that's why they're as popular as they are.
I mean, that's like Indiana Jones too. That's pretty much mixing like
the point I was trying to make was that there's a game, there's a genre that I can't stand. Like I really don't like puzzle games. I swear to God. But when a game is this good and it makes someone like me like this game and like not only like it but like love it, that should be a testament to how good this game is all I'm saying.
It's a great game.
That's all I'm trying to say.
It's a great game, and you love puzzle games.
Stop it, Brian.
You love
stop it.
You do.
I like actually VR. I like puzzle games in VR. Yeah. I will come around. I will change my stance on that.
VR makes everything better.
I think VR, puzzle games and you are like two kids who have a crush on each other in elementary school. So they just talk shit about each other. You're like,
dude,
oh, I mean, you smell terrible.
The room, the room, dark matter. Another intervention. The room, dark matter. Zing, the land beyond. Transpose is a little budget, but I still love the puzzles and I love the sci-fi tone of the game. And then like red matter, like the room is right up here with these.
You know, it's crazy. Nihilist Ryan.
He just said
red matter. He's an AJ. This or red matter.
This or red matter. That is tough, man. Because they're different. They are different.
It's a lot about like you're moving around this world, you're exploring and stuff like this. This is a lot more point and click adventure kind of deal.
Stop it, Nick. Oh man.
AJ,
I would probably say this over red matter, but that hurts to say.
Actually, red matter. Great game.
But I love red matter. I mean, why would you ask such a question like that? That hurts, man. I got feelings too, man. I know just because I'm on YouTube doesn't mean I don't feel nothing.
Dude, Atmos 77 says, any ideas what's happening with Abduction tomorrow? So I just went and checked out Cyan World's Twitter site or Twitter feed, and they've got a short clip saying Abduction, make it home again, 3/27/2020. So something is happening with Abduction tomorrow. We just don't know what. Man,
Be ready.
be ready. Be ready.
Yes.
It's funny to me. If you go to Abduction's Twitter page, it says from the creators of Myst, and then it says this account is no longer active.
Yeah, they
Please
switched over
follow
to
us.
Just Cyan Worlds recently. Yeah.
Puzzle
It's like
Showdown.
we've got this big update, but we killed the Twitter account for that.
David, I don't know if I have the right platform for Puzzle Showdown. I've never
What
heard
is
of
Puzzle
that.
Showdown? I've
I have
never
no
heard that
idea.
either.
To the show, Cape. Hit me, Dave.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm looking up Puzzle Showdown.
Fuck you.
It's on PS4, so you do have it.
Oh,
That's
it's not, I imagine it's not VR game though.
Cape Panic, the paper game cat, in a room. That's quite a combination of a lot
Wow.
of great games.
I love it.
With the
Share in a
$1.99
room.
donation
I
to
gotta write that
show
down.
to show top 24 VR games after Resident Evil 7.
Next week. That's next week.
Yeah, for sure.
It's clever.
Talk
Next
about a
week
long
is-
show. Next week's going to be a fucking
Oh
doozy.
man, yeah. Was this a
3
warm
hours?
up?
Yeah.
Next week is going to be like a 5-hour show. I swear to God. Especially if we do like 25. Are we doing 25? Or are we doing
We'll
20?
talk about it
No, I
behind the
think we're doing.
scenes. Well,
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But right now it's 20.
yeah.
Okay.
Right now it's 20. 25 might be okay, but we will. You and the three of us can sit down and figure it out as we make our list, and we'll touch base on
25.
that.
I'm eating on camera.
That's
I'm
dude, you
eating.
should eat on camera all the time, man. This is fucking business casual. All right, guys, we should probably wrap this
Okay.
thing up, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. It sounds like we're doing a mini Motor Racing X thing after this. After
Yeah,
everyone eats and hangs out.
I gotta go to the store.
Sounds awesome.
I have to go to the
Mini motor racing.
store.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to
Play
jump into
multi-
anything right away. So
Give us
I
like an
have-
hour and a half. Like
I
something
have like
that.
a mask and stuff. I'm gonna be freaking people
dude.
out at the store.
I have
good.
gloves. I have these like dishwashing gloves that my roommate, when he worked at a restaurant, he just like left at my house. And so like, I'm just gonna wear those to go to the grocery store, like, or just anywhere where I have to touch handles,
Good call.
because that shit freaks me out, man. And I don't
Hell
care if
yeah.
I look weird. I don't care if I
No,
fucking look weird.
I'm thinking about drawing on my shirt like that, like just for my protection is what I was thinking about, like drawing on a shirt
Sure,
because I don't want to freak
Positive.
people out.
You should draw on your shirt and say COVID-19 positive, so people stay away from you.
Is that having like the scarlet letter?
No, it's
I-
kind of like those trucks that say like keep 25 feet behind or whatever. Like on the
but
back,
after
like,
that, yeah.
you just have to have a shirt backwards, like keep 6 feet away. I have coronavirus.
But after that, no, we totally need to get on some mini motor racing X.
Yeah, that's really fun.
So make sure we thank you. I will.
set that up in multiplayer meetups.
At
Let's
most,
do that.
just so you know, I practiced social distancing before it was cool. Okay.
Oh, me too.
Oh, we all do. I haven't seen anybody for years.
Why this channel is unfazed? Like,
Yeah, doing the same thing. The only thing is like I don't know if I'll have toilet paper in a few weeks, but
That's what showers are for.
if you need some, I will send it to you.
the thing that sucks is I actually started installing this bidet that my friend got me as a joke. Did I tell this story already?
Yeah, you did talk about the bidet. That's amazing. You got to tell me how that is. I hear it's awesome.
Well, I haven't used it because there's a piece missing, and it's back ordered on because everybody's trying to buy bidets now, even like bidet pieces, like little
Dude,
hardware
people
for
are
the bidet.
fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's not like a thing you can
Oh
get
my
at Home
God.
Depot. It's like only the bidet company makes this piece that you need
Jesus
for it.
Christ.
And so it's like back ordered. I'm going to get it like April 7th. And I hope I have enough toilet paper to get me that far. Because, like, fuck, man, I don't know. Oh, we got another one.
Don't tweet me! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
K-Panic the Paper. Oh, God, he's going on for a while. K-Panic the Paper Game Cat in a room. AJ, you got to speak in Bane voice to the store clerk. That's a callback, man.
Ah, you think toilet paper is your ally?
AJ's-
I was born. You think social distancing is your ally?
Wow.
I was
I
born
was
in
born in
molded.
This has been PS4 Gamescast Live, where we film live every single Thursday at 6 p.m.
Thursday.
Eastern, and bring
Gotham.
it to you live, because that's what live means. We want to thank every single person for hanging out, and I can't
Bane
actually
mask.
do this watching Dave.
It's a Bane mask.
I know,
It's like
I know
this,
what
right?
you're doing. I know.
I wish I could hear
I want to thank every single person that hung out and watched the show. We want to thank everybody watching the show later. We want to thank everybody who donated, of course. Please consider heading to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
Things have been really rough for a lot of people financially. So a lot of people have pulled their Patreon support. I totally understand it. I totally get it. People are in a fucking rough situation right now. But if you're not in a rough situation, please consider helping out the channel. Patreon.com/withoutparolegames.
And I also want to say, just in general, think about it like in terms of if you're getting delivery from places that you can't go and eat at, and a lot of people are taking a big hit, so tip like crazy right now, like really tip like crazy. Like,
and if you do that, treat everything like it's a contaminated object until you get the food out. Treat every bag, every box, everything. These guys know what's
where are the news channel for this?
This lady brought me stuff from Publix and she was trying to hand it to me, and I was like, please leave it on the ground. I'm not gonna
with
take
a
it out of here.
Mentos and a Coke.
A bidet with a Mentos and a Coke, that could work actually.
But we also want to thank all the people who just sat back, didn't comment, didn't say a word, and just watched the show. Because until Without Parole was a thing, I was just like you. So we know you're out there. There's thousands of people who watch this show, and there's certainly not thousands of comments. So we know you're out there. We know you're watching. We appreciate you guys.
Comments this stream.
This was
so long.
This was
a long stream.
Yeah. I have a feeling some of the comments were repeated people. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys like long streams, because next week's going to be way longer.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Way longer.
And of course, we always want to remind you. We want to remind you to subscribe to Davestation VR, subscribe to AJ PSVR Underground. I think all the links should be in the description. And thank you very much for subscribing to Without Parole. We'll see you guys in just a bit for Mini Motor Racing X.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
We love you.
What's
all.
the
Roll the
max
cat
and
can
that be
8?
players?
Yes.
Oh, 8 players.
And Dave. Okay, so tell your Switch Animal Crossing thing.
Oh, I can end the show. Is that what you're saying? You're allowing me to end the show now?
No. Well, yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, this is my should we or shouldn't we? Right?
Yeah. Go.
Okay, so my should we is Animal Crossing for the Switch. Guys, everything outside in the real world is crazy. And it's stressful. And Animal Crossing is not stressful. And it's this thing where you can just sort of devote your entire existence to it, and it feels good, and you like that feeling. You just settle in and you're like, okay, I am going to spend 6 hours playing this today, even though there's stuff that won't even happen until tomorrow because the game is actually designed to make you only play a little bit each day. But then you say, fuck that, I'm going to play as much as I want. I'm going to pay off my whole house loan like in one night. But then the other part, why it's a shouldn't we, is because it will control your life. You will stay up way later than you ought to. You'll think about it during the day. You'll start looking up stuff online. You'll join Facebook communities. I've already done it. I'm in Central Florida Animal Crossing right now. I invited one of my friends. We're all in here. And if you guys want to come visit me, just ask for my Switch code in the Discord. Because I got cherries, I got every fruit. And I know if you're playing Animal Crossing, you know what that means and you like that. So come on over. Anyways, my place is called Drug Farm. And I hope y'all... That's what I named my place in Stardew Valley, too. That's what I use. That's my go-to. And my character's name is Nandor. And if you guys ever watched the FX show, What We Do in the Shadows, can I keep this going for like
You are so over your 1 minute.
Oh, I'm super... Oh, no. This is not...
Yeah, man. It is. That's the whole point. Is it show?
He didn't say ready to
go. Minute.
He didn't say ready des go, so I don't know.
Okay, then ready des stop. All right, guys. We'll see you. All right. Join our Discord. We'll see you over there. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you.